Sure.
Right. And I also assume that everybody would like to have a good discussion in a bilingual manner instead of me showing you a presentation and talking one way. तो अगर आप लोग मुझसे वादा करें कि आप इस डिस्कशन में हिस्सा लेंगे, मेरे साथ शरीक होंगे, तो आज मैं ये करना चाहती हूँ कि कोई प्रेजेंटेशन आपको दिखा के बात ना करो। मैं प्रेजेंटेशन आपको बाद में दे दूंगी, आप देख सकते हैं उसको। हम आज कुछ बात करते हैं, लेकिन बात तभी होती है जब दो तरफ से होती है ना? तो कुछ आप मुझसे सीखेंगे, लेकिन बहुत कुछ मैं आपसे भी सीखूंगी। एंड आई थिंक दैट विल बी अ वेरी गुड वे। तो डू यू अग्री, प्रेजेंटेशन दिखाऊं या ना दिखाऊं? बताइए राजेश कुमार जी।
Yeah. So both way communication will be there.
Yeah, let's talk, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, right. Now you are teaching in a college, all of you. The college must be affiliated to some university. कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी से affiliated है ये कॉलेज आपका?
Same university, संत गाडगे बाबा अमरावती यूनिवर्सिटी.
बाद में बात करूंगी। संत गाडगे बाबा अमरावती यूनिवर्सिटी। और ये एक बहुत अच्छी, बहुत पुरानी, बहुत बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी है।
Yeah.
तो अगर आप इस यूनिवर्सिटी के लोगों से मिलते हैं जो इसके हेल्म ऑफ द अफेयर्स में हैं, वाइस चांसलर हैं, इसके रजिस्ट्रार होंगे, इसके फाइनेंस ऑफिसर होंगे, जो भी वहाँ का एक स्ट्रक्चर होगा, वो आपसे कुछ अपनी प्रॉब्लम्स बयान करते हैं, कुछ अपने जो मुश्किलात उनके सामने आ रही हैं, आजकल यूनिवर्सिटीज को चलाने में जो दिक्कतें पेश आ रही हैं, कुछ उनके बारे में बात होती है ना? कुछ उनका आपको एहसास है कि वो आजकल किस तरह से यूनिवर्सिटीज को चला रहे हैं,
Yeah, ma'am.
है ना? क्या क्या दिक्कत सबसे ज्यादा क्या पेश आ रही है? पैसे की, है ना? कोई भी आप नया काम करना चाहें अभी यूनिवर्सिटी में, या कुछ भी डेवलपमेंट या कुछ भी मेंटेनेंस, तो एक ये बात जरूर सामने आती है कि हमारे पास नो फंडिंग, देयर आर नो फंड्स, एंड फंडिंग हैज रिड्यूस्ड, फंडिंग हैज बिकम scarce, it has tapered off. तो ये सबको झेलना पड़ रहा है। Everyone is undergoing this kind of a problem. These troubles are there with all स्टेट फंडेड यूनिवर्सिटीज के ऊपर, तो ये मसले हैं। कितनी स्टेट फंडेड यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं इंडिया में, आपको अंदाजा है? Anybody? How many public universities in our country? Okay, how many total number of universities in our country? किसी को पता है? नहीं। 1200 से ज्यादा यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं। ओके, 1200 से ज्यादा यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं। उसमें से पब्लिक फंडेड कितनी है? उसमें से पब्लिक फंडेड होंगी कोई 700, 750 institutions, including IITs and IIMs. I mean, the problem is that the socio-political willingness to continue to fund the universities just as a welfare organization, it has started to diminish. Now, the government, the state is not interested in continuing to fund universities. They are finding it very expensive. तो अब आप क्या करेंगे? अब आप ये करेंगे कि आप अपना इनकम और रेवेन्यू जनरेशन खुद करेंगे, आईआरजी कहते हैं उसको, आईआरजी। तो आईआरजी का एक तो तरीका हो गया कि आपने फीस बढ़ा दी या आप फीस लेने लगे। सो यू आर अ प्राइवेट कॉलेज, राइट राजेश जी?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Private college. So
Private college. Yeah.
wonderful. So you are completely sustaining yourself on fees from the students. We will come to this later. But public funded universities, they are not taking high fees from the students, and they are teaching courses, they are giving admissions, they are maintaining hostels, they're doing everything at a very low cost. This is called subsidized education, highly subsidized education. So the time of subsidy is now going. The time of subsidy, it had a shelf life. एक समय था जब सब्सिडी जरूरी थी, क्योंकि हम अभी अभी आजाद हुए थे, हमारे पास इतनी कैपेबिलिटी, हमारी कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग नहीं हुई थी। लेकिन अब अगर वो सब्सिडी जारी रहेगी तो यहां से और ऊपर हमारा डेवलपमेंट नहीं हो पाएगा। इसलिए हम चाहते हैं कि हमारा एजुकेशन सिस्टम वायबल हो। वायबल इन द सेंस उसमें इनोवेशन हो, उसमें एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप हो, उसमें लोगों को इतने मौके हों कि जो भी डिग्री वो हासिल कर रहे हैं और उस डिग्री में उन्होंने जो भी सीखा है वो स्किल का यूज करके वो अपनी एक अच्छी आजीविका का अर्जन कर सके, जीविका अर्जन कर सके, अपनी रोजी रोटी उससे कमा सके। अब मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछती हूँ, आप सबने तो इंजीनियरिंग किया होगा, है ना? और आप सब इंजीनियरिंग ही पढ़ा रहे हैं और आप सब इंजीनियरिंग के ही नए स्टूडेंट्स को तैयार कर रहे हैं। अगर आप जॉब मार्केट में जाते, एकेडमिक्स में नहीं आते, आप प्रैक्टिस में जाते, तो भी आप इंजीनियरिंग के ही जॉब्स कर रहे होते ना, आप किसी कंपनी में होते। अगर आपने मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग किया तो आप मैकेनिकल की कंपनी में होते। बट शक्कर तो नहीं डाला डाला बट देर आर अदर कोर्सेज ऑल्सो। से फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये एक ग्रुप होता अगर ऐसे टीचर्स का जिसमें पब्लिक यूनिवर्सिटीज के भी टीचर्स होते, पब्लिक यूनिवर्सिटीज के भी टीचर्स होते। हम उसमें कुछ बॉटनी के टीचर्स होते, कुछ जोलॉजी के टीचर्स होते, उसमें कुछ सोशल साइंसेस के होते, कुछ आर्ट्स के होते। तो मैं उनसे ये सवाल करती कि आपके मास्टर्स के क्लास में कितने बच्चे थे? जब आपने एमएससी किया या एमए किया तो आपके क्लास में कितने बच्चे थे? तो कोई कहता 40, कोई कहता 50, कोई कहता 20। और जाहिर सी बात है आजकल तो आपका सबका ओल्ड स्टूडेंट्स का ग्रुप बनी जाता है, टीचर्स का, स्टूडेंट्स का। आपके अपने क्लास के जितने स्टूडेंट्स थे, आप लोग सब साथ में बैचमेट्स थे, उनका कोई ना कोई ग्रुप वगैरह तो होगा ही। सब नहीं होंगे उसमें, लेकिन 50 में से 30-35 तो होंगे ही उस ग्रुप के ऊपर। आपको पता होगा कि वो क्या कर रहे हैं। आपका एक बैच ऑफ, लेट्स से 2010, बैच ऑफ 2010 मास्टर्स बॉटनी, यू वुड बी नोइंग कि वो क्या कर रहे हैं। अब मैं आपसे कहती कि आप ये बताइए, ये सब लोग कोई भूखे तो नहीं मर रहे हैं, ये सब लोग दुनिया में कुछ ना कुछ कर रहे हैं, अपने अपने अच्छे अच्छे करियर्स को ये परसू कर रहे हैं। इसमें से कितने लोग हैं जो कि वो ही कर रहे हैं जो उन्होंने मास्टर्स में सीखा था? बॉटनी में अगर आपने मास्टर्स किया है तो आपके पास जॉब के कौन से दो रास्ते हैं? जॉब का एक रास्ता ये है कि आप टीचिंग में चले जाएं, वो पोस्ट्स लिमिटेड हैं। दूसरा रास्ता ये है कि आप इंडस्ट्री में चले जाएं, एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोड्यूस वगैरह कोई वो बनाती हैं तो आप उसमें चले जाएं। और तीसरा रास्ता ये है कि आप साइंटिस्ट बन जाएं, किसी इंस्टीट्यूट में चले जाएं। Any of these places where you go, you will be making use of what you have learned in your master's class of botany. तो मैं पूछूंगी कि ऐसे कितने लोग हैं कि जिन्होंने बॉटनी में मास्टर्स किया है, लेकिन अभी वो दे आर परसुइंग अ पर्टिकुलर करियर which is related to that skill and that knowledge which they have received. Maximum 5 out of 50 will say, yes, I am a teacher, I am a professor, I am a scientist, I work in a pharmaceutical company, I work in a agricultural products company. 5 to 10 of the 50 students will say that. What about the rest? And I have just said that nobody is starving. They all are honorably employed. They are all honorably employed. But they may be in any field. Some would have done MBA. Some would have done gone into the civil services. Some would have gone into the state services. Some would be entrepreneurs. And some would be just housewives. लड़के लड़कियां दोनों होते हैं ना मास्टर्स की क्लास में। तो 10-20 जो लड़कियां थी उसमें से कुछ तो उसमें टीचर्स होंगी, एक आध प्रोफेसर्स भी बन गई होंगी, है ना। लेकिन बाकी क्या कर रही होंगी? शादी वादी हो गई, 10-20 साल तक अपना परिवार संभाला, जब तक बच्चे बड़े हो गए वो घर से चले गए, तब सोचा कि चलो कुछ करते हैं भाई, हम तो पढ़े लिखे हैं। तो अब बॉटनी तो याद नहीं है बिल्कुल, उससे तो वो क्या हो गया, आउट ऑफ टच हो गए। बिकॉज एवरी फील्ड इज ग्रोइंग, you need to keep updating yourself in every field. So one tries to become a fashion designer. वो अपना एक ऑनलाइन सूट्स का काम करती है। Some decide to start a cloud kitchen. वो अपना घर में चटनी अचार पापड़ बना रही है, वो क्लाउड किचन पे उसको बेच रही है। Some might even become life skill trainers. लाइफ स्किल ट्रेनर्स भी बन रही हैं कुछ। तो ये हकीकत है यूनिवर्सिटी एजुकेशन की। जिस तरह की डिसिप्लिनरी एजुकेशन आज तक हम देते आए हैं, उसके साथ ये एक मेजर प्रॉब्लम है कि देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ इंडस्ट्री एकेडेमिया डिवाइड between the labor market and between the graduate attributes with which the students are entering the world, between the kind of internships that the students are getting, and between the kind of higher education courses for which the students go, there is a gap. आपने सीखा कुछ, लेकिन अब अगर आप फर्दर पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, आगे पढ़ रहे हैं, जैसे आपने बीएससी कर लिया बायोलॉजी में, तो हो सकता है कि आप जो आगे पढ़ाई करें उसमें आप क्या करें, एमबीए कर लें। तो ये आपके हायर डिग्री कोर्स हो गया, मास्टर्स आपने इधर किया। या हो सकता है कि आप बीएड कर लें, या बहुत से ऐसे भी करते हैं कि वो जो 3 इयर्स का लॉ होता है वो कर लेते हैं। पहले बहुत करते थे, अब तो बीए एलएलबी पूरा 5 साल का आ गया है। मगर बहुत से ग्रेजुएट्स ये भी करते थे कि वो लॉ में चले जाते थे। अगर आप सिविल सर्वेंट भी बन जाते हैं, आईएएस बन जाते हैं, पीसीएस बन जाते हैं, एसएससी में आपको जॉब मिल जाती है, तो भी आप क्या कर रहे हैं? आप सिर्फ और सिर्फ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कर रहे हैं। अब उस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में आपके सब्जेक्ट का क्या रोल, उसमें जोलॉजी बॉटनी का क्या रोल? आपने जोलॉजी में पूरा क्लासिफिकेशन पढ़ा है, अमीबा, पैरामीशियम, पोरिफेरा, सिलेंट्रेटा, उसका क्या रोल? नहीं है ना। आपने बॉटनी में कोलेनकाइमा, स्क्लेरेनकाइमा, पैरेनकाइमा, सब तरह के सेल्स पढ़े होंगे, बट देयर इज नो रोल फॉर दैट. So as a basic foundation, it's fine. But when it comes to the utilization of the skill that you have acquired in the graduate program, in your employment, in your occupation, in your career, you don't see that being translated directly. तो एनईपी का ये एक नया विजन है. It's an entirely new vision that education should be holistic and education should be multidisciplinary. और अभी ये जो मैंने डिस्कशन किया, द यूटिलिटी ऑफ योर स्किल्स इन द लेबर मार्केट, इसके अलावा भी यदि आप एक पैनी नजर रखते हैं, एक शिक्षाविद की हैसियत से, इफ यू आर एन एजुकेशनिस्ट, एक माहिर तालीमात की हैसियत से, अगर आप देख रहे हैं कि ये जो इल्म ताल्लुम का मैदान है, दिस फील्ड ऑफ एजुकेशन, what outcome and impact does it have on the society? खास करके अब ये बात आपके ऊपर, आपके लिए बहुत रेलेवेंट है जो मैं अब कहने जा रही हूँ. आपके पूरे इंजीनियरिंग का जो आप कोर्स पढ़ाते हैं, बीटेक या उसके बाद में एमटेक, तो जरूर माशाल्लाह आप बहुत अच्छे इंजीनियर्स बनाते होंगे. बट आर यू ऑल्सो inculcating in them some values to be good practitioners of engineering? No. No. न्यू एज ग्रेजुएट एट्रीब्यूट है सब्जेक्ट नॉलेज, फाइन, दैट्स जस्ट वन पार्ट. उसके बाद है क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, उसके बाद है डूइंग, उसके बाद है क्लैरिटी ऑफ थॉट, और उसमें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स. तो अब तक हम मेडिकल, इंजीनियरिंग, फार्मेसी, कंप्यूटर एप्लीकेशंस, हॉस्पिटैलिटी मैनेजमेंट, हम इसे कैसे पढ़ा रहे थे? हम इसे सिर्फ स्किल ओरिएंटेड पढ़ा रहे थे, हम इसको सिर्फ मेन स्ट्रीम पढ़ा रहे थे. क्या हमने डॉक्टर बनाते वक्त उसको ये पढ़ाया, उसको ये सिखाया कि तुम्हें पेशेंट्स की किडनी नहीं चुरानी है? तुम्हें किसी पैथोलॉजी की लेबोरेटरी से कमीशन लेके पेशेंट्स को, चाहे वो कितने भी गरीब हों, गैर जरूरी टेस्ट्स नहीं बताने हैं? हाँ, तुम्हें किसी की बीमारी का, दुख का, तकलीफ का गलत फायदा नहीं उठाना है, तुम्हें किडनी नहीं चुरानी है. पूरे एमबीबीएस के कोर्स में हम ये नहीं सिखाते. वी डोंट टीच दैम, राइट? Similarly, in the BTech courses that you all are teaching, I'm sure you're producing great engineers. But how can an engineer become great if she doesn't have the requisite value education to practice her profession ethically? सीधे सीधे अल्फाज में अगर मैं कहूं कि हमें वो इंजीनियर्स नहीं चाहिए जिनके बनाए हुए पुल, ब्रिजेस गिर जाते हों क्योंकि सरकार का आधा पैसा उनके जेब में, आधा पैसा ठेकेदार के जेब में, और पब्लिक को क्या मिला? एक कमजोर पुल, जिससे क्या हुआ? कितने लोगों की जान का नुकसान। तो वो तो हम नहीं बना रहे। हम्म? क्या हम ऐसे होटल एंड हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री में ऐसे प्रोफेशनल्स भेज रहे हैं जो कि अपने गेस्ट्स की प्राइवेसी का ख्याल रखते हों, जो कि अपने गेस्ट्स की, अगर किसी का कोई वैल्यूएबल छूट गया है तो उसको हिफाजत से वापस कर देते हों? ये मॉरल्स, एथिक्स, वैल्यूज हमें लोगों के अंदर चाहिए। एक ऐसे अच्छे समाज के लिए हमें ये मॉरल्स, एथिक्स, वैल्यूज चाहिए, क्योंकि इसके बिना चाहे हमारे पास कितनी भी स्किल हो, कितने भी एकेडमिक अचीवमेंट्स हों, और कितने भी हमारे पास इसके लिए इंटेलेक्ट हो, विदाउट एथिक्स, मॉरल्स and an integrated development of the body, mind, and soul, it is useless. Therefore, NEP says that we will introduce such courses in the FYUP as well as in further programs in all faculties, which will focus on the integrated development of the body, mind, and soul. और इसी के लिए इसमें मल्टीपल एग्जिट, मल्टीपल एंट्री प्रोग्राम्स भी इंट्रोड्यूस करे गए हैं, MEME। और इसीलिए एकेडमिक बैंक ऑफ क्रेडिट भी NEP के तहत इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया है, so that there is ease of mobility between and within courses, and so that there is ease of mobility between and within higher education institutions, and also so that a student, any student, has the opportunity to make use of his prior learning, her unique talents, as well as her aspirations. जरूरी तो नहीं है कि हर बच्चे का एक ही करियर एम्बिशन हो। मेडिकल करके निकलते हैं बहुत से स्टूडेंट्स, कुछ चाहते हैं कि वो अमीर बने, कुछ चाहते हैं कि वो बाहर चले जाएं, कुछ चाहते हैं कि वो गरीबों की खिदमत करें, कुछ चाहते हैं कि वो रिसर्च में चले जाएं, कैंसर का इलाज ढूंढें। तो करियर एस्पिरेशंस हर बच्चे के अलग होते हैं, टैलेंट्स हर बच्चे के अलग होते हैं। कुछ बच्चों की कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स अच्छी होती हैं, कुछ बच्चों की लैंग्वेज लर्निंग स्किल्स भी अच्छी होती हैं। तो ऐसे बच्चे हमेशा अच्छे क्लिनिशियंस बन सकते हैं। They can all become good clinicians because as a clinician they need to be able to talk to the patient, they need to be able to become active listeners and listen to the patient, and a lot of diagnosis, good diagnosis, happens only by this. So this will help them gain a sharp clinical acumen, whereas there are other students who are not too much into this. They can go into research. There are others uh, who are good at research as well as clinical practice. They can become academics. They can become professors in medical colleges. There are some who are good at hospital administration. They can go into private practice, right? तो मैं प्रॉब्ली जब मेरा इंट्रोडक्शन हो रहा था तो आपको बताया गया होगा कि मैंने ओहायो स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी में एक लीडरशिप फॉर एकेडमिशियंस प्रोग्राम किया था. I have a certificate from the Ohio State University. And I also have one from the Monash University. तो इस प्रोग्राम में हमें बताया गया कि ओहायो स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी मल्टीपल एग्जिट मल्टीपल एंट्री का यूज करते हुए एक इंटीग्रेटेड हेल्थ केयर प्रोग्राम चला रही है. इंटीग्रेटेड हेल्थ केयर प्रोग्राम. तो मेरी ये बात तो आप मानते हैं ना कि पेशेंट केयर जो है वो अकेले डॉक्टर के बस की तो बात नहीं है. पेशेंट केयर, डॉक्टर ने उसको देखा और दवा दे दी, दैट्स इट. ऐसे तो कोई पेशेंट ठीक नहीं होता है. They need a lot of care of the paramedics. They also might need a lot of care of the social workers. And they also might need a lot of care of the faith leaders. आर्मी में एक पोस्ट होती है चेपलिन. तो मुस्लिम चेपलेंसी, वैदिक चेपलेंसी, क्रिश्चियन चेपलेंसी, सिख चेपलेंसी. तो ये जो फेथ लीडर्स हैं उनका काम ये होता है कि वो आर्मी में they are employed on a full-term basis, and it's their job to give spiritual healing to the wounded and the terminally ill soldiers. Wounded for healing. Sometimes soldiers have to be amputated also. किसी का एक पैर चला गया जंग में, वो बिल्कुल हताश पड़ा हुआ है. तो अलावा उसके कि हाँ अब पैर तो खैर अब प्रोस्थेटिक लिम्ब भी आएगा, लेकिन उसके अलावा जो उसको ठीक होना है वो नहीं हो पा रहा बिकॉज ही इज अंडर सो मच ऑफ नेगेटिव स्ट्रेस. This is when the role of the chaplain comes in. The chaplain will go and talk to him, will try to make him believe that God loves him, that beyond this there is something good waiting for him, that this is just a test, and by his patience and perseverance and forbearance he has to pass the test. आजकल स्पिरिचुअल साइकोलॉजी भी बहुत हो रही है. There are counselors, psychoanalysts and psychiatrists who are counseling followers of a certain faith with reference to that faith. है ना? जैसे हिंदुइज्म में आपको पता है अगला जन्म. तो एक वैदिक चेपलिन एक वुंडेड सोल्जर को ये समझा सकता है कि तुम्हें इसका फल अगले जन्म में मिलेगा. Monotheistic religions, you know, there is hell and heaven. So a Jew or a Christian or a Muslim chaplain can tell him that there is a good reward waiting for you in the hereafter to elate the spirit of the patient. Right? तो ओहायो स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी में ये जो वेक्सनर मेडिकल का स्कूल था, मेड स्कूल था, उसमें हमें दिखाया गया कि वो वहां पे इंटीग्रेटेड हेल्थ ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम चलाते हैं. उसमें क्या होता है कि सेकेंड ईयर का एमबीबीएस स्टूडेंट 1 साल के लिए एग्जिट ले सकता है और वो इस पीरियड में एक इंटीग्रेटेड हेल्थ प्रोग्राम अटेंड कर सकता है और उसके बाद वो दोबारा एंट्री ले सकता है और अपना मेडिकल का पूरा काम कर सकता है, डिग्री ले सकता है. ही विल हैव 2 डिग्रीज, जो एनईपी में भी आ गया है, डुअल डिग्री. और मल्टीपल एग्जिट के तहत वो कोई ऐसा इंटीग्रेटेड हेल्थ का प्रोग्राम कहीं और भी कर सकता है. ऐसा नहीं है कि ओहायो स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी में इंटीग्रेटेड हेल्थ में एडमिशन सिर्फ ओहायो स्टेट के बच्चों को मिलेगा. इंटीग्रेटेड हेल्थ वो चला रहे हैं, कहीं भी कोई सेकेंड ईयर एमबीबीएस में है तो वो इनके इस प्रोग्राम में एनरोल कर सकता है। थ्रू दिस इज पॉसिबल ओनली थ्रू मल्टीपल एग्जिट एंड मल्टीपल एंट्री। ओके, सो that's one way of introducing multidisciplinary education. Multidisciplinary education. And that's one way of making education holistic. Now, how do we make education holistic? By introducing an integrated development of the body, mind, and the soul. तन का विकास, मन का विकास और आत्मा का विकास दोनों साथ में हो। मस्तिष्क का विकास, आपने केवल मस्तिष्क का विकास कर लिया और आपने शरीर पे ध्यान नहीं दिया, तो a healthy mind has to live in a healthy body. Yes. इसलिए एनईपी चाहते हैं कि आप अपने स्टूडेंट्स को, जो हमारे यहाँ की गुरुकुल परंपरा थी जिसमें बहुत ज्यादा रिस्पेक्ट गुरु की, जिसमें त्याग, सैक्रिफाइस, ट्रूथफुलनेस, इंटेग्रिटी, इस पे भी जोर दिया जाता था। न सिर्फ ये कि लिखना पढ़ना सिखा दिया, या ना सिर्फ ये कि मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर बना दिया। NEP wants to reintroduce that. Fine. Make Ram Kumar an engineer, but make him an engineer who knows the traditional values of education of this country, of this land. Make him an engineer who will sacrifice for his people. Come what may, who will be truthful. Come what may, he will not give up on his integrity, honesty, and the idea of giving back to the society. कुछ भी हो, ये बच्चा इंजीनियर बन के निकला है, मगर ये बच्चा कभी बेईमानी नहीं करेगा, ये बच्चा कभी खुदगर्जी नहीं करेगा, क्योंकि सोसाइटी ने इसके ऊपर इतना इन्वेस्ट किया है, तो सोसाइटी को ये उस तरह से he will give back that the society will benefit from him. ये आइडिया है। The idea behind multidisciplinary and holistic education is this. अब देखिए, ये एक नया आइडिया है और जब भी कोई नई चीज आती है उसका थोड़ा क्रिटिसिज्म होता है, तो हम इसकी भी बात कर लेते हैं। डिसीजन आपको लेना है, मैं आपके ऊपर कुछ भी थोप नहीं रही हूँ, NEP आप पे कुछ भी थोप नहीं रहा है, बस मैं अपनी बात कह के आगे बढ़ जाऊंगी। मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी एंड होलिस्टिक एजुकेशन का जब मूवमेंट वेस्ट में शुरू हुआ, तो बहुत से एजुकेशनिस्ट्स ने इसको कहा कि ये एक एक्लेक्टिक मूवमेंट है। एक्लेक्टिक यानी अजीब और गरीब, है ना। और मेन स्ट्रीम एजुकेशन में इसकी कोई जगह नहीं है, उनका कहना था। और उनका कहना था कि ये जो स्पिरिचुअलिटी और मॉरल्स एंड वैल्यूज की बात आप कर रहे हैं, उसको मेन स्ट्रीम एजुकेशन से लिंक करने की जरूरत नहीं है, वो अलग से किया जाए। जैसे कि वेस्ट में होता है, बाइबल स्कूल्स होते हैं, उनका कहना है कि आप बाइबल स्कूल्स अलग से चलाइए, स्टूडेंट्स उसमें जाएं और वो वहां पे सीखें, वहां होता है। और जैसे वेस्ट में आजकल वो भी हो रहे हैं, संडे मदरसा। So Muslims who are living in Australia and who are living in the United States, in the UK, जाहिर है वहाँ पे स्कूल में तो उनको वो कुरान नहीं पढ़ाया जाता और हदीस नहीं, दीनियात की तालीम नहीं दी जाती है वहाँ पे, तो दे गो टू अ संडे मदरसा और एन इवनिंग मदरसा कि यहाँ पे ये थोड़ा सा कुरान पढ़ लें। तो जो मेन स्ट्रीम एजुकेशन है उससे रिलेटेड नहीं है ये। लेकिन ऐसा अज्यूम किया जाता है कि अगर किसी ने गीता पढ़ ली है, किसी ने कुरान पढ़ ली है और किसी ने बाइबल पढ़ ली है और वो पूरा पूरा उस पर वो ईमान भी लाता है, तो फिर वो आदमी जो है वो सच्चा होगा, वो ईमानदार होगा, वो त्याग की भावना भी रखेगा अपने अंदर, वो मोक्ष, काम, पुरुषार्थ इसकी भी भावना रखेगा अपने अंदर और अपना जीवन वैसे ही व्यतीत करेगा। पढ़ने के बाद भी जब वो पढ़ लिख के एक आला तालीम याफ्ता एक डिग्री लेके जाएगा, तो उस वो मोक्ष, काम, पुरुषार्थ, सत्य, त्याग, निष्ठा, ये जो है ना, दीज वैल्यूज ऑफ सैक्रिफाइस एंड ऑनेस्टी एंड इंटेग्रिटी, कीपिंग इन गुड हेल्थ, that person will do it. We learn this from the Gurukul system, the traditions of the Nalanda, Takshashila, Vikramshila, etc., because we have been no less in this. And we learn this from great thinkers and educationists of our country also. Sri Aurobindo, Swami Vivekananda, Rabindranath Tagore, the founder of a beautiful, beautiful university in West Bengal. And I am a big disciple of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, who founded this university. He was a reformist like Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So they had ideas, all these great thinkers, Savitri Bai Phule, they had ideas, Jyotiba Phule, her husband, about education, about how we want to develop our country with educated, highly educated girls and boys graduates who do not compromise on the integrity of the soul, of the mind and the body. So all the principles of healthy living, yoga and mitahara, eating less, and sattvic bhojan, and having a routine that is aligned with the natural cycle of the sunset and the sunrise. And these are things also that we learn from the Gurukul system. And we want our students to learn them once again, because we have seen that when they stopped learning it, they went out to become professionals, but not professionals who practiced their profession with ethics, morals, and values. We want that back. And we will do it through the Academic Bank of Credit and through the multiple exit, multiple entry program, so that students have an opportunity to take an exit for 1 year, for 2 years, learn something else, something that will strengthen them as professionals, and then come back to their major degree program. So in Ohio State University, मैंने ये देखा कि ऐसा नहीं है कि मेडिकल के स्टूडेंट्स 1 साल के लिए इंटीग्रेटेड हेल्थ प्रोग्राम ही सीख रहे हैं, वो दूसरे सब्जेक्ट्स के स्टूडेंट्स को भी 1 साल के लिए एक मेडिकल इंटीग्रेटेड हेल्थ क्लर्कशिप करा रहे हैं। क्लर्कशिप, क्योंकि एक डॉक्टर को ट्रीटमेंट, हीलिंग ये पता है, लेकिन एक डॉक्टर को ये भी तो बहुत जरूरी है कि वो अपने कागजात संभाल के रखे। आप तो सब बहुत पढ़े लिखे हैं, आप प्रोफेशनल्स हैं, आपको तो अंदाजा होगा, इफ यू डोंट हैव द पेपर for anything, you can't even cast your vote if you don't have a voter ID, right? So anything, you have to have good paper management system. And these days, of course, it's being done online, but even for that, you need to have somebody who manages it for you, because you can't manage all of that yourself. Private practice भी आप कर रहे हैं, या आप उसमें भी हैं, किसी मेडिकल कॉलेज में हैं, इतना पेपर हैंडलिंग, पेशेंट फाइल्स, टेस्ट रिपोर्ट्स, ड्रग्स आप नहीं कर सकते हैं. It's impossible. And it's very typical to the medical profession. Any clerk cannot become a successful medical clerk, क्योंकि वो दवाओं के नाम, वो पेशेंट्स के प्रोसीजर्स, वो डिजीजेस, डायग्नोसिस, इसकी थोड़ी सी नॉलेज होनी चाहिए. तो ओहायो स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी में इंटीग्रेटेड हेल्थ प्रोग्राम भी चलता है. जो कि क्लर्कशिप। तो एक तरफ वो अपने स्टूडेंट्स को मल्टीपल एंट्री मल्टीपल एग्जिट के तहत 1 साल की मोहलत दे रहे हैं कि वो इंटीग्रेटेड हेल्थ प्रोग्राम करके आए, और एक तरफ वो दूसरे स्टूडेंट्स को, कोई एमबीए कर रहा है अगर, या कोई किसी भी ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम में है, तो दे गिविंग देम एन अपॉर्चुनिटी थ्रू द मल्टीपल एग्जिट मल्टीपल एंट्री टू गो and be a part of the integrated health clerkship. तो मैं ये कह रही हूँ कि जब ये बात शुरू हुई कि हमें इंटीग्रेटेड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द बॉडी माइंड एंड द सोल करना है, तो इसके क्रिटिक्स ने ये कहा कि ये हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस का काम नहीं है, ये अलग से होना चाहिए। स्पिरिचुअलिटी, मोरालिटी, एथिक्स, ये सब अलग से होना चाहिए, जो हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस का काम नहीं है। बहरहाल फिर भी वेस्ट की बहुत सी यूनिवर्सिटीज में इसको लिया गया, और मेरे पास इसका एक एग्जाम्पल मोनाश यूनिवर्सिटी से भी है। वहां भी एक मल्टीकल्चरल रिसर्च टीम बनाई गई थी, जो कि एक बहुत ही अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी वर्क का। तो ये हो रहा है, पूरी दुनिया में हो रहा है। इसकी जिम्मेदारी अब एनईपी के बाद हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस ने ले ली है कि हम मल्टीपल एग्जिट मल्टीपल एंट्री के मदद से हम अपने स्टूडेंट्स को इंटीग्रेटेड देंगे। somebody is pinned. क्या ये कैसे हो गया? ओके, सॉरी सॉरी। राइट, सो आर यू फॉलोइंग दिस? अभी तक जो मैं कह रही हूँ सब आप समझ रहे हैं?
यस मैम,
यस मैम।
श्योर
कुछ
श्योर
पूछना
श्योर।
तो नहीं है?
अभी तक सब कुछ समझ गए हैं।
दैट्स ग्रेट। कोई
थैंक यू।
आपको आपको क्या आप समझ में आ रहा है ना? इंटरेस्टिंग लग रहा है ना आपको?
यस यस मैम, वेरी नाइस।
हाँ, नहीं तो फिर हम आपको प्रेजेंटेशन वेशन दिखा के और एक फॉर्मल सा लेक्चर खत्म कर ले, लेकिन आई वांट इट रियली टू बी वेरी थॉट प्रोवोकिंग, दैट इज व्हाई आई
श्योर
एम टू यू ना।
श्योर
एंड
श्योर
इन द
श्योर
एंड आई विल आल्सो टेल यू अ स्टोरी। ओके,
श्योर श्योर श्योर।
राइट। सो वी आर नाउ डूइंग इट एंड लेट अस ट्राई इट। मेरा कहना ये है कि एक नई चीज है। ये सच है कि इसका क्रिटिसिज्म हुआ है, मगर ये भी सच है कि वेस्ट की बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज में इसको किया जा रहा है, और हम इसको करके ना देखें ऐसी कोई वजह नहीं है। अगर ये एक नई चीज है तो हमें इसको करके देखना चाहिए, एक मौका तो देना चाहिए, है ना? क्योंकि वो एक पोयम है बहुत अच्छी, रॉबर्ट फ्रॉस्ट की, आपने सबने पढ़ी होगी। ही इज अ ग्रेट पोएट, रॉबर्ट फ्रॉस्ट। He wrote those famous lines also, which Pandit Nehru used to read in the parliament. You know, the woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have miles to go before I sleep. Robert Frost has written that. The same poet has also written a poem called The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a wood, ऐसे करके है। तो उसकी लास्ट लाइन ये है, and years hence, when I look back, I will have taken the road not taken. And that is what will make the entire difference. तो कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है कि मेन स्ट्रीम में कोई चीज जो सब लोग कर रहे हैं, हम उसी का भेड़ चाल का हिस्सा ना बने, और हम एक ऐसा अपने लिए पथ चुने जिस पर चलने से ही हमारी जो कामयाबी है वो हो सके। दैट विल मेक द एंटायर डिफरेंस, ये लिखा है उसमें रॉबर्ट फ्रॉस्ट ने। आप पढ़िएगा उस पोएम को, द रोड नॉट, मुझे पूरी याद नहीं है, लेकिन इसका जो हिस्सा मुझे सबसे ज्यादा इंस्पिरेशनल लगता है वो मैं आपको बता रही हूँ, है ना। टू रोड्स diverged in a wood. So it sometimes does make a difference that we are not doing the mainstream thing. we are doing something different. We are taking the road that has not been taken by everyone. So now, starting with NEP, as part of the FYUP, we have taken the road through multiple exit, multiple entry, and through academic bank of credit to introduce the integrated development of the body, mind, and soul. And therefore, आपका ये एक सेशन इस पे किसी और का भी हुआ होगा, तो इसका जो सिलेबस है वो अगर मैं आपसे डिस्कस करूं तो उसमें यही है कि पहले सब थीम on this sub theme there are several, on this theme there are several sub themes. तो पहले सब थीम में तो यही है कि let us look back to the Gurukul system, to the values of काम, मोक्ष, अर्थ, satya, nishtha, tyag, that comes from the scriptures, the Gita, and let us look at the values that were taught by the great teachers like Sri Aurobindo, Swami Vivekananda, and Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. And I always like to add Sir Syed to this because I'm sitting here talking to you all because of him. So these are the 2 units of this course, the syllabus जो आपके लिए जो prescribed है, वो ये 2 units हैं उसकी. तीसरी यूनिट के 3 हिस्से हैं. तो एक तो है आपका वैल्यू सिस्टम जिसकी हमने काफी देर बात की. दूसरा है पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. Personality development. What kind of communication skills do you have? What kind of presentation skills do you have? Do you practice any self-management? Do you practice any time management and prioritization? Are you able to influence people? Are you able to align with people? Are you able to inspire people? Are you able to work in a team? Do you know what is teamwork? Do you know what is to delegate? कहीं आप ऐसे तो नहीं है कि आप सोचते हैं कि हर काम मुझे खुद ही करना है. अगर आप ये सोचते हैं कि हर काम मुझे खुद करना है, जो मेरे आसपास लोग हैं, जो मेरी टीम के लोग हैं, उनको कुछ देना नहीं है करने के लिए क्योंकि मैं अच्छा कर सकता हूं, मैं परफेक्शनिस्ट हूं, वो बिगाड़ देंगे. तो जब आप उन पे कभी भरोसे ही नहीं करेंगे तो फिर तो वो बिगाड़ेंगे. वो करेंगे ही नहीं तो फिर वो सीखेंगे कैसे, है ना? तो वो एक मुझे किसी ने बताया था, मैं नाम नहीं लूंगी, वो एक यूनिवर्सिटी के कंट्रोलर साहब थे. तो कंट्रोलर ऑफ एग्जाम्स एंड एडमिशंस का बड़ा कॉन्फिडेंशियल काम होता है. पहले की बात है, अब तो खैर सब क्लाउड और ड्राइव सब आ चुका है. वो अपने गले में एक माला पहनते थे, ठीक है? और उस माला में क्या होता था? 16 पेन ड्राइव, 16 पेन ड्राइव्स. That means he was a control freak. That means he just didn't know how to lead a team. That means he didn't have any faith in any of his team members to be able to entrust with a certain task. And he was making his own life hell, fine. And he was also impeding the progress of the team. Whenever a team is led by a control freak, the organizational performance will suffer. It will certainly suffer. क्योंकि ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता कि आप सब कुछ कर ले. आप बहुत अच्छा करते होंगे, लेकिन आप एक दिन में 10 लेटर लिख लेंगे, चलिए 50 लेटर लिख लेंगे एक दिन में, है ना? लेकिन कभी कभी जरूरत पड़ती है एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस में कि एक साथ 500 लेटर्स जाने. तो अगर आपने ये सोच लिया कि वो सब 500 लेटर्स हम ही भेजेंगे क्योंकि हमारी सबसे अच्छी इंग्लिश है, हमारी सबसे अच्छी टाइपिंग है, हमारे लेटर हेड का पेपर सबसे अच्छा है You know,
Right.
बाकी तो ये सब गधे हैं.
सही है.
Your organization will suffer. So the art of delegation is also a very, very important aspect of a good personality. So it's about personality development. We need to teach our students some traits of a good personality, and we need to help them have an effective personality. Personality that has capabilities of influencing, capabilities of teamwork, capabilities of managing time and prioritizing goals. गोल्स प्रायोरिटाइज करना बहुत जरूरी है, बहुत जरूरी है. मुझे मालूम है आप सब टीचर्स हैं, लेकिन साथ में आप रिसर्च भी करते हैं, है ना? कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि आप अपना लेक्चर प्रिपेयर करने में इतना ज्यादा टाइम लगा दे रहे हैं कि आपके पास रिसर्च का टाइम ही नहीं बच रहा है? या कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि आप अपना रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट ही मैनेज कर रहे हैं और आप स्टूडेंट्स की तरफ ध्यान ही नहीं दे रहे हैं? आप तो क्लास में जा नहीं रहे, जा रहे हैं तो अनप्रिपेयर्ड जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि आप तो सारा टाइम रिसर्च में लगे रहते हैं. We have to compartmentalize, and we have to give just enough time to all the goals that we have set. So this is good for us. We also need to learn this and keep practicing this, and we need to equip these skills of good personality development in the students. One of the very important traits of a good personality is empathy. What's the difference between sympathy and empathy? एक है हमदर्दी और एक है सांत्वना, सहानुभूति. राइट? हर दफे जरूरी नहीं है कि आपके आगे वाले को आप तरस खाएं, आप उस पर दया दृष्टि करें, आप उस पर रहम खाएं. नहीं चाहिए हो सकता है उससे. हाँ, लेकिन उसे ये जरूर चाहिए कि आप उसके लिए एम्पैथेटिक हो, आप उसे समझें, आप खुद को अपने पांव उसके जूतों में रख के देखें. Imagine yourself in his shoes. Try to think of his psyche right now. Try to go on the other side of the table. Stand there and imagine yourself. How would you like to be treated? Not with sympathy always, but of course with empathy, always. So one of the very important traits of a good personality is empathy. And empathy again is a skill, I am telling you. It's not a talent. स्किल और टैलेंट में यही तो अंतर होता है ना. टैलेंट हम लेके पैदा होते हैं, स्किल हम अपनी जिंदगी भर हम सीख सकते हैं. हम अगर मेहनत करें, प्रैक्टिस मेक्स यू परफेक्ट. कोई भी स्किल हो, कोई भी हुनर हो, आप अगर उस पर ध्यान देंगे, आप यदि उस पर समय देंगे, आप उसको सीख लेंगे. तो अगर आप उस पर ध्यान दे रहे हैं कि आप एम्पैथेटिक हैं कि नहीं है, आपकी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल कैसी है, आप ध्यान दें यदि उस पर, आप सीख लेंगे. नॉट एट ऑल डिफिकल्ट. राइट? टैलेंट हाँ अलग बात है. हम में से कोई कितनी भी मेहनत कर ले, शकुंतला देवी के जैसे कैलकुलेशन नहीं कर सकता है ना. लता मंगेशकर के जैसे गाना नहीं गा सकता, बिरजू महाराज के जैसे डांस नहीं कर सकता. दे वर गिफ्टेड पीपल. So they were gifted people. They are very few, but they also need to continue to work hard and persevere on what they are doing. But then there are certain skills which everybody can learn. Anyone can be a good cook, right? Anyone can be a good typist. In the same manner, anyone can have good communication skills. Anyone can have empathy. Anyone can have good time management and prioritization. Anyone can be a good team player. And our students need to be taught that. That is the idea of multidisciplinarity. And that is the idea of holistic education. One last component of this theme is environmental consciousness. I love to talk about it because I'm from wildlife sciences. This is my bread and butter. Environmental consciousness. प्रकृति और पर्यावरण के लिए आपकी सजगता, क्योंकि आज हमें सेंसिटाइज्ड सिटीजन्स की भागीदारी चाहिए in order to protect our environment. And just like I said, a healthy mind can exist only in a healthy body. I would also like to say that a healthy body can function only in a healthy ecosystem, only in a healthy habitat, only in a healthy environment. So if the environmental balance, the ecological balance of the elements of nature around you is disturbed, how will you stay healthy in it? And then how will your mind be healthy? And then how will there be any integrated development of the body, mind, and the soul? Not possible. We are trying to re-evoke the Gurukul system. And we all know the Gurukuls existed in the forests, alongside a river, alongside a pond. And the students, they needed to go there. They had to leave the cities up to the age of 25. Because the kind of focus that was required for the studies of the Vedas and the studies of the Upanishads and the ability to do Shastrarth and the ability to become a teacher forever, they really needed pure environment. Today, because of industrial revolution, because of so much progress and development that we see in industrialization, in urbanization, in agriculture also, I must say. मुझसे पूछिए, आप मेरे दिल से पूछिए, तो मैं क्लाइमेट, एनवायरमेंट, फॉरेस्ट, वाइल्ड लाइफ के लिए बड़ा मुजरिम नंबर 1 एग्रीकल्चर को मानती हूँ. आप कहेंगे मैं किसान विरोधी हूं, ऐसा नहीं है. मैं किसान विरोधी नहीं. आई एम वेरी प्रो पीपल, but I see the amount of damage caused to the natural environment by commercial chemical agriculture. The kind of damage that was not caused by urbanization. The kind of damage that was not caused by industrialization. I am a wildlife scientist. I have worked in national parks and protected areas and sanctuaries and biosphere reserves. And I know what is man-animal conflict. I know what is man-wildlife conflict. सीधी सीधी बात है. आपको क्लाइमेट चेंज को कम करना है, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग को कम करना है, कार्बन एमिशन कम करना होगा. कार्बन एमिशन जितना ज्यादा है उतना ग्लोबल वार्मिंग होगी, उतना क्लाइमेट चेंज होगा. हाउ डू यू कॉम्बैट इट? A, reduce carbon emission. B, plant more trees for carbon sequestration. एकदम सिंपल सी बात है. लेकिन वो हम कहाँ करें? हमारे पास सिर्फ 5% एरिया नेशनल पार्क्स और सैंक्चुरीज में है. उस पे भी चारों तरफ से एग्रीकल्चर का प्रेशर है, फार्मर्स का प्रेशर है. लाइवस्टॉक, कैटल, ग्रेजिंग, लॉपिंग, felling of trees, cutting of grass, fishing, agriculture even in the water body. एक छोटा सा wetland हमने बड़ी मुश्किल से सैंक्चुरी बनवाया, छोटा सा 1 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर. मैंने वहीं पे अपनी PhD किया था. I love the birds there. I worked on the birds there. साइबेरिया से वहां बर्ड्स आती थी, तिब्बत से वहां बर्ड्स आती थी. लेकिन आसपास के गांव वाले हजारों हेक्टेयर खेत उनके पास है, लेकिन उनको उस सैंक्चुरी में भी सिंघाड़ा उगाना है। सिंघाड़े, यू नो व्हाट इज सिंघाड़ा? ट्रैपा बाइस्पाइनोसा कहते हैं इसको, जिससे व्रत का आटा बनता है।
यस मैम।
यू नो ना? या नहीं,
या
कैश क्रॉप। इट्स अ कैश क्रॉप। भाई, अपने किसी खेत में पानी भर के सिंघाड़ा उगा लो, इसको तो रहने दो बर्ड्स के लिए। छोटा सा वेटलैंड है तुम्हारे पास, तो हजारों हेक्टेयर्स ऑलरेडी तुमने ले रखी है जमीन अपना गेहूं चावल आलू प्याज उगाने के लिए। हम्म? तो इंसान की लालच की तो कोई इंतहा नहीं है ना। तो कहीं तो उसको लाइन खींचनी होगी। तो जब हम एथिक्स मॉरल्स एंड वैल्यूज की बात करते हैं, मैं आपको बता दूं, हमें एथिक्स मॉरल्स वैल्यूज की ही जरूरत है एनवायरमेंट प्रोटेक्शन के लिए। कोई दूसरी चीज नहीं आ पाएगी एनवायरमेंट सेव करने के लिए। कोई ऐसी मशीन तो बनी नहीं ना जिससे कि जो कार्बन एमिशन ऑलरेडी हवा में हो चुका है वो कार्बन एमिशन वहां से हम वापस खींच लें, उससे कोयला बना लें, उससे हीरा बना लें। ऐसे तो कोई मशीन नहीं आई, नहीं बना पाए ना हम। वी आर गोइंग ऑन मार्स, we've had missions on Mars. We can't even count the total number of satellites in space. We are so technologically advanced. We are not just talking about AI and robots, we are so technologically advanced that now we are fearing that AI and robots will replace us. People have already started losing jobs because AI and robots are performing these jobs much better than people. You agree, na? Don't you agree? आपके पास कार होगी, आप उसको खुद चलाते होंगे या आपका ड्राइवर चलाता होगा। एक्सीडेंट के चांसेस ज्यादा हैं। हो सकता है आज आप जल्दी जल्दी में निकले, आपने नाश्ता नहीं किया। हो सकता है आपके कार आप ड्राइव कर रहे हैं, बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट फोन आपके बॉस का आ गया, कार का एक्सीडेंट हो सकता है। हो सकता है कि आपने ड्राइवर इसलिए रखा कि भाई आप तो गाड़ी में बैठ के अपना काम वाम आराम से कर सके, लेकिन आज आपके ड्राइवर को कोई स्ट्रेस है, वो आपसे नाराज है, वो आप उसकी तनख्वाह नहीं बढ़ा रहे हैं। क्या इससे बहुत अच्छा नहीं होगा कि आपके पास एक ऑटो ड्राइविंग कार हो? वो रोज आप अपने घर में बैठे अपने ऑफिस की लोकेशन डालें और वो गूगल से लेती रहती है लोकेशन, जियो स्टेशनरी, और वो आपको अपने ऑफिस पहुंचा दे। अब मेरा ड्राइवर 5 बजे से मेरे रूम के बाहर खड़ा हो जाता है कि अब मैं घर जाऊं तो वो अपने घर जाए। कभी कभी मुझे काम होता है, मुझे 6 बज जाते हैं, 7 बज जाते हैं, अब मुझे टेंशन। लेकिन मेरे पास अगर ऑटो ड्रिवन कार हो, वो टेंशन। To the services that we are going to get from AI and robotics, and you all are engineers, you will be knowing that much better than me, that these are services that are much desired, very much desired. So we have made such progress in technology, but we have not designed as much as required eco-friendly technology that would enable this kind of growth till eternity. अभी तो देखिए जिस तरह की ग्रोथ आपकी हो रही है, रिसोर्स इंटेंसिव ग्रोथ है, फॉसिल फ्यूल बेस्ड ग्रोथ है। बहुत 5, 10, 20% होगा विंड एनर्जी और सोलर एनर्जी। बढ़ रहा है, बढ़ना चाहिए। वी नीड टू invest more in scientific research for some energy dense material like maybe nuclear energy, which doesn't cause any carbon emission and therefore doesn't cause any climate change in global warming and pollution. पर अभी तक तो नहीं कर पाए। वो ही अच्छा होगा, वो एक प्रोएक्शनरी अप्रोच होगा। But so far we have not been able to do that, and we don't know when we will be able to do that. Or we dream of a certain extremely powerful super battery which can provide an alternative solution to all the electricity and energy needs of the world. But not so far. So अब तो वो एक बहुत अच्छा प्रोएक्शनरी अप्रोच होगा, I know. लेकिन जब तक हम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं उसको, तब तक तो हमें प्रिकॉशनरी अप्रोच ही लेके चलना होगा। और प्रिकॉशनरी अप्रोच तो यही है कि यू हैव टू लिमिट योर एक्सेस टू द नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज। जिस तरह की डेवलपमेंट की आंधी चली हुई है, जिस तरह की कंज्यूमरिज्म की आंधी चली हुई है, जिस तरह की ग्रोथ की आंधी चली हुई है, एवरी कंट्री वांट्स अ हायर जीडीपी, एवरी कंपनी वांट्स अ हायर रेट टू ऑफ इट्स स्टॉक्स। तो ये सारा एनर्जी, रिसोर्सेज, बायोडाइवर्सिटी नेचर से ही तो आ रहा है। तो ये जब खत्म हो जाएगा, कहाँ से आएगा? और जो इसका एमिशन हो गया है, उसका ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट आप कहाँ से खत्म करेंगे? क्योंकि जंगल तो आपने काट दिए, नए जंगल आप नहीं लगा पा रहे हैं क्योंकि लोगों के पास जमीन के पट्टे हैं, लोग अपनी जमीन नहीं देंगे। कोई जमीन से उनकी रोजी रोटी, उनकी बात भी सही है। तो be it, any resource, be it biodiversity, wildlife, animals, or be it water or green cover, ground cover, or even groundwater. ग्राउंड वाटर तो आप जानते हैं ना, जो जमीन के नीचे का पानी है। आप तो महाराष्ट्र में है ना, कितने फीट पे पानी मिलता है वहां हैंडपंप में या सबमर्सिबल में?
अराउंड 100 to 200 के बीच में मिल जाता है हमारे सिटी में।
कौन सा सिटी है? अमरावती?
यवतमाल।
यवतमाल?
इट्स अ
और अगर
डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्लेस।
आप जी
इट इज अ डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्लेस। इट्स
ओ
100 kilometer फ्रॉम अमरावती।
wow, so you're very
या
lucky you're getting water at 100 150,
या या
because I've heard from friends of Marathwada that
हम्म।
in Aurangabad and other places they don't get water even up to 500 700 600.
या
And just recently a friend from Hyderabad, we were visiting Banaras and we asked them कि यहाँ कितने पे पानी है, तो उन्होंने कहा 200 250 पे। She said, oh my god, that's wonderful, we get water at 600 700 even in Hyderabad.
ओह
राइट? सो ये जो पानी
हाँ
नीचे जा रहा है, पानी नीचे जा रहा है, ये आप
हाँ
वापस तो नहीं रहे, या आप निकाल लिया आपने, वापस तो आपने डाला नहीं। द काइंड ऑफ कैश क्रॉपिंग द फार्मर्स आर डूइंग, it is extremely resource intensive and it is extremely carbon intensive. ये जो कैश क्रॉपिंग है, इससे सब्सिडाइज्ड इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, सब्सिडाइज्ड डीजल किसान सिर्फ इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं जमीन से। मतलब मैंने गांव में देखा है, 4 गन्ना धोने के लिए भी वो ट्यूबवेल चलाते हैं, ट्यूबवेल चलाते हैं, और कम से कम 10 गाड़ियां धुल जाएं, इतना पानी 4 गन्ना धोने में वो बहा देते हैं। पैडी फार्मिंग कर रहे हैं, पैडी इज अ कैश क्रॉप। पानी खोल दिया, पानी भर गया, इट्स यू नीड वाटर लॉगिंग फॉर पैडी, पानी भर गया। तो मैं ये कह रही हूं कि अभी आपकी जो भी नीड्स, डिजायर्स जो भी हैं फ्रॉम द प्लैनेट, वी हैव टू कंट्रोल देम, and unless and until we do not control them, we will not be able to combat global warming and climate change. अब ये कंट्रोल करने की इंस्पिरेशन आपको कहां से आएगी? Hey, I'll call you back. Yeah. Give me half an hour. Yeah. Sorry, I'm so sorry, Mr. Caller. So, to be able to control your access, to be able to limit your access on the resources of the planet, you need very sound environmental ethics. You need to stop wasting resources. You need to stop wanting excessive resources. और ये दृढ़ विश्वास आपको कहाँ से आता है? ये दृढ़ विश्वास आपको केवल आपकी नैतिकता देती है। तो चाहे आप डॉक्टर हो, चाहे आप इंजीनियर हो, चाहे आप आईएएस ऑफिसर हो, चाहे आप टीचर हो, और चाहे आप बिजनेस करते हो, एनवायरमेंटल कॉन्शियसनेस आपके अंदर होनी जरूरी है। वो हर छोटे से छोटा काम जो हम करते हैं उसके लिए, और वो हर बड़े से बड़ा काम जो हम करते हैं उसके लिए। मैं अपने स्टूडेंट्स को हमेशा ये एग्जाम्पल देती हूँ कि अभी आप इस क्लास से उठ के जाएंगे तो आप में से कोई यदि यहाँ के बिजली पंखे सब स्विच ऑफ कर देगा तो वो अपनी एनवायरमेंटल कॉन्शियसनेस होने का सबूत देगा। मैं उसकी बहुत कदर करूंगी क्योंकि मैंने उसमें कुछ नैतिकता देखी। किसके लिए नैतिकता देखी? पर्यावरण के लिए नैतिकता देखी। तो जैसे हमें अपने सोशल एनवायरनमेंट के लिए अपनी मॉरल्स एंड एथिक्स एंड वैल्यूज का डिस्प्ले करना होता है, डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करना होता है, वैसे ही हमें अपने बायोलॉजिकल एंड फिजिकल एनवायरनमेंट विच इज अराउंड अस, उसको भी, so that we may be able to preserve it, उसको भी, उसके लिए भी हमें स्टूडेंट्स में वैल्यू इनकलकेशन करना है। तो बहुत हद तक ये हो रहा है। पहले भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट से भी एक डिसीजन आया था कि अंडर ग्रेजुएट जितने भी प्रोग्राम्स हैं उनमें पूरा एक सेमेस्टर एक एनवायरमेंटल स्टडीज का पेपर पढ़ाया जाएगा। और एफआईयूपी में जो हमने वैल्यू एडेड कोर्सेज का प्रावधान रखा है, तो वैल्यू एडेड कोर्सेज में बहुत से कोर्सेज जो हैं वो हिस्ट्री ऑफ द एनवायरनमेंट मूवमेंट, इको क्रिटिसिज्म, ताकि इंग्लिश का स्टूडेंट है तो वो भी, और हिस्ट्री का स्टूडेंट है तो वो भी। जैसे मैं पढ़ाती हूँ वाइल्ड लाइफ साइंसेस से, तो हम थोड़ा सा फेथ बेस्ड कॉन्जर्वेशन लेते हैं। तो वो सारे बच्चे जो हैं वो कोई ऐसा पेपर पढ़ें जिसमें कि जो भी वो पढ़ रहे हैं, हिस्ट्री पढ़ रहे हैं, फिलोसफी पढ़ रहे हैं, केमिस्ट्री पढ़ रहे हैं, लेकिन उनके अंदर पर्यावरण को सुरक्षित रखने के लिए जिन नैतिक मूल्यों की आवश्यकता है वो मूल्य उनके अंदर विकसित किए जा सके। द इनकलकेशन ऑफ द वैल्यूज दैट आर रिक्वायर्ड by an individual, by a citizen, to conserve the environment, to preserve the environment. Right? This is the entire idea behind keeping that portion on environmental consciousness in this unit, holistic and multidisciplinary education. हमारे पास अभी 10 मिनट का समय और है। मैं अंतिम 5 मिनट जरूर रखूंगी इसके लिए कि हम कुछ सवाल जवाब कर सकें। मैं अब आपसे एक क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहती हूँ। क्या है यार, मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछना चाहती हूँ। मुझे बताइए, इतनी देर से हम मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी की बात कर रहे हैं, क्या हमें ये अंतर पता है जो क्रॉस डिसिप्लिनरी, मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी कंफ्यूज नहीं कर रही हूं आपको, मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी, इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी और ट्रांस डिसिप्लिनरी में होता है? डू वी नो दैट? एनीवन? एनी आइडिया व्हाट इज मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी? तीनों ही नाम से ऐसे लग रहे हैं कि समथिंग नॉन डिसिप्लिनरी है ना, लेकिन एक माइन्यूट सा डिफरेंस तीनों में है, वो क्या है? कोई बताएगा?
Multidisciplinary what involves different discipline working together, each
Very,
contributing their own expertise.
very good.
And we can say the interdisciplinary involves integrating the knowledge and method from different discipline to create something new.
Super, super. I'm so glad you gave me the correct answer. Many times people are not able to. Yes, wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
What is transdisciplinary? Trans.
Disciplinary.
Okay, no
I'm
problem.
not
Okay,
yeah.
no problem. No problem. I'm so impressed that you know what is the difference between interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary. So cross-disciplinary is looking at a particular discipline from your discipline, Multidisciplinary is bringing together disciplines for a task, and interdisciplinary is the integration of two disciplines and the emergence of a new discipline. Whereas transdisciplinary is the migration of the disciplinarian from one discipline to another. And together, they enter the realms of non-academics. तो आप टीचर हैं, रिसर्चर हैं, लेकिन आपने कोलैबोरेट किया पॉलिसी मेकर्स से, या आपने कोलैबोरेट किया सिविल सोसाइटी से, या आपने कोलैबोरेट किया इंडस्ट्री से. तो ये हो गया ट्रांसडिसिप्लिनरी. ठीक है?
Okay, ma'am. Right.
Right? So when you go outside the discipline and try to solve a problem, अब मैं आपको 3 quotations आपसे शेयर करूंगी, which will re-ensure and reaffirm the importance and the relevance of multidisciplinarity in the present day. सबसे पहले मैं आपको बता चुकी हूं कि वो जो घिसी पिटी एजुकेशन है कि ये डिग्री कर लिया, वो डिग्री कर लिया, अब नौकरी कुछ भी कर लेना, अभी उसके लिए आपको पैसा मिलने वाला नहीं है. The neoliberal socio-political economies are redefining their funding pattern for traditional education. तो अपने काम को आउटकम बेस्ड बनाना होगा. ये जमाना आउटकम बेस्ड एजुकेशन का. आपसे बहुत कहने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप ऑलरेडी आउटकम बेस्ड ही पढ़ा रहे हैं, आप तो प्रोफेशनल टीचिंग कर रहे हैं. Another important saying that I want to, it's a quotation. We are here in the profession of higher education because we are teachers as well as researchers. Instead of just transferring borrowed knowledge in the classroom and becoming epistemic rent seekers who depend on jargon and prevent facts and figures from going in the realms of public knowledge, we have to become original teachers, original researchers that can produce new knowledge and that can also equip the student in the classroom with the cutting edge knowledge that they produce from their research. Then your teaching will be unique. क्योंकि आप एक किताब पढ़ के क्लास में गए, वही पढ़ा दिया, हो सकता है स्टूडेंट गूगल से आपसे 10 गुना ज्यादा पढ़ के आया. तो अभी आपकी जरूरत नहीं रह गई. आप कोई ऐसी चीज पढ़ा रहे हैं, नई चीज जो है ही नहीं कहीं. हायर एजुकेशन में स्पेशली, है ना, ये छोटे बच्चे नहीं है ना कि आप इनको लिखना पढ़ना सिखाएंगे. ये तो इंफॉर्मेशन का रेवोल्यूशन आया हुआ है, इनकलाब आया हुआ है. ये तो सब देख रहे हैं, तो सब सीख रहे हैं, आपकी जरूरत ही नहीं है. तो एक तो
Now we have the facilitator, not a teacher.
yeah,
Right. Yeah.
we're just
Yeah.
facilitators, and
Yeah.
even that role has become very limited. हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी में तो 40% कोर्सेज की टीचिंग मूक्स और मूडल्स से हो रही है,
Right.
स्वयं पे हो रही है. मैं 5 पेपर्स पढ़ाती थी, अब मैं 3 पेपर पढ़ा रही हूँ, क्योंकि एक पेपर मैंने मूक पे पढ़ा दिया. 2-2, 3-3 हजार बच्चे उसको आराम से कर रहे हैं, है ना?
Right.
Yeah. So if we have to reinvigorate our relevance, we have to produce new knowledge, and we don't have to do epistemic rent seeking. We don't have to continue to exist as epistemic rent seekers. One. B, What is this new knowledge and how is it coming? So please mark my words. New knowledge exists at the intersection of two disciplines. New knowledge exists at the intersection of two disciplines. And any real life, ground level, grassroots problem has to be approached by more than one discipline if you need a solution. है ना?
Exactly. Yeah.
अगर आप सिर्फ डिसिप्लिनरी रिसर्च कर रहे हैं तो हो सकता है कि आपका पेपर छप जाए, हो सकता है उससे आपको एपीआई स्कोर मिल जाए, लेकिन आपने न्यू नॉलेज प्रोड्यूस कर ही नहीं सकते हैं और कोई सॉल्यूशन नहीं मिल रहा है आपकी रिसर्च से, किसी भी प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन नहीं मिल रहा है आपके रिसर्च से, बिकॉज you are not collapsing the disciplinary boundaries. And this is the age of intersections. This is the age of integration of disciplines. And that's how we see the emergence of new disciplines and new knowledge. तो ये मेरे first quote था, neoliberal political economies are lacking the will of continuing to fund non-outcome based education. दूसरा मेरा quote था, new knowledge exists at the intersection of two disciplines, and only an approach based on more than one discipline is a practical approach for finding a solution to a ground level grassroots problem. अब मैं आपको एक तीसरा कोट और उसके बाद कहानी खत्म. So a third quote is, mark my words, disciplines are necessary evils. Disciplines are necessary evils. एक लाजमी गुनाह है discipline. The more necessary, the more evil. जितना आप पाबंदी से इसको अपने ऊपर आयत करेंगे उतना ही ज्यादा ये आपके लिए गुनाह साबित. Disciplines are necessary evils. The more necessary, the more evil. So with that, my dear participants, I think we have another couple of minutes for any discussion, for any points that you want to discuss with me, any questions, any add-ons. कुछ आप भी मुझे अपने तजर्बे से अगर बताएं, मुझे भी सीखने का मौका मिले. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. This session was really nice because the concept that you have delivered here on the multidisciplinary education, particularly holistic and multidisciplinary education, that was really nice. And definitely, ma'am, it will be inculcated, and all the faculties were trying to that concept of transdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, and the interdisciplinary approaches towards the integration in their curriculum. Participants, if you have any questions or the queries or couple bit some kind of observations, you can please note down here. Either we can continue for the next session. Please, anyone.
So I think there are no questions. Nobody is raising a hand also.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your dedication and efforts in shaping the future of education. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I was so glad to have this discussion. You were the only one who kind of responded and kept my courage alive throughout the session, Dr. Rajesh Kumar Sambe. It was wonderful having you in this.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Yes.
you.
I wish everybody the best. May the good God bless you.
Thank you.
Till we meet again. Thank you so much. So am I allowed to leave?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. On the behalf of organizer, I extend my sincere thanks to you for your precious time and thought-provoking session here. And with this kind consent of Professor Abbasi, ma'am, I would like to declare that this session will be over here and we will continue for the next session. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. The pleasure was mine. Bye-bye.
Hello, Professor Apparao, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, you are muted, sir. Please unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yeah,
Good afternoon, sir.
yeah. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. If you could permit, shall we move forward, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. So, good afternoon, one and all, once again. Friends, as I have already told you that the today's session have been split into the two different parts. First part we have almost completed. What is the basic concept behind this multidisciplinary and holistic and multidisciplinary education? Now, extending to that part particularly, we are discussing on the open educational resources. Friends, you know that this concept of open educational resources is very much appreciated and very much important while we are engaging in the teaching learning, in the research, or designing the pedagogy, new pedagogy. So we have inculcated this topic in our flagship program, and the man who have with us today, a very senior and scholarly personality who have developed a number of videos lecture, not only on that OER particularly, but each of the domain of this higher education. So we are first of all, I extend my warm welcome to Professor B.V. Apparao sir for this flagship program, and particular to this session. Sir, we have organized this program in the joint collaboration of our one of affiliating and the autonomous institution, that is Jawaharlal Darda Institute of Engineering and Technology, one of the autonomous and top leading institution in affiliating to the R University. And since 2 days we have discussing with the different modalities of this national education policy, and extending the today's session, we will discussing on this open educational resources. Friends, Professor Apparao sir is a former senior professor from the National Institute of Technology, Warangal. Basically, he is also the field from the engineering, chemical engineering, and but being a teacher, hardcore teacher, and the researcher, sir has played a different role in the different institutions. He was the dean, head of the department, convener at the different positions in the department of chemistry, department of biotechnology. As far as research concerned, under his able guidance, 21 students have been awarded with the PhD degree. Sir is associated with the 9 to 10 different projects that has been launched by the government of India with the collaboration of in some international institutions, and these projects was immense important projects, and sir is associated on that projects also. Beside of these things, under his able guidance, Triple IT Hyderabad have achieved A double plus grade of NAC under his mentorship, and sir was rigorously taking the efforts towards the enhancement of quality of this higher education, particularly the faculty development. Or being a senior teacher and the mentor, he had delivered over and above 4,500 sessions in the different FDPs, then the short STPPs, and this type of flagship program, and he is continuously engaging in the faculty development. So we are luckily fortunate to get such kind of senior personality here. So sir, I once again extend my sincere thanks for providing us such kind of great opportunity to listen you, and we will listen you some experiences while designing our courses and how we should inculcate this OER. So I once again extend my warm welcome to you, sir, and now may I request you to please start with your session, sir, please.
Good afternoon, friends. At the outset, I thank Professor Muhammad Atiq for extending me an invitation to share a few of my thoughts and ideas on this very important topic, open educational resources. You see, if you have to develop massive open online courses, if you want to improve upon your teaching learning strategies and want to become the best teacher, inspiring teacher, you want to use different kinds of problems, assignments in your teaching learning process, there are open educational resources, wealth of knowledge in all these is available for the benefit of teachers and students both in the form of open educational resources. I am going to discuss in detail open educational resources in the world and also in India, and how to register open educational resources. What is the license? It is not copyright. It is based on Creative Commons license. How to quote open educational resources. All those details I'm going to discuss. Let us learn together. With this brief introduction, I shall share my lecture in the form of PowerPoint presentation. Open educational resources, a great revolution towards quality of higher education in the world. Indian universities and colleges can be greatly benefited by open educational resources. The acronym is OER. Wide propagation and the use of OER in the teaching, learning, and assessment among teachers and also students is the need of the hour. Appropriate use of OER can bring excitement, motivation towards learning among the students. Self-learning, lifelong learning among teachers and students is also possible because of open educational resources. Development of an interesting online course of good quality is possible by selecting, modifying, and using OER appropriately. Open educational resources are of great use to bring interest and excitement and motivation towards learning among students in classroom teaching. OERs provide the teacher many ideas about modern teaching methods, active learning strategies, and different kinds of assessment strategies, all possible modes of assessment strategies in any given course. For all the courses that are available in the world, you have the appropriate OER. OERs are of great resources to students for self-learning and independent learning and in-depth learning. You may give a reference book, a textbook, but OERs supplement the students' learning in so many ways. OERs are very useful in development of massive open online courses, that is MOOCs, in creating motivation and excitement among learners, learner-centric MOOCs. You can prepare, the teachers, all of you can prepare learner-centric MOOCs with the help of OERs. You can do it. In developing learner-centric MOOCs, which is necessary in outcome-based education. In formulating course outcomes at higher cognitive levels like apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. In using appropriate combination of teaching learning strategies, providing appropriate learning materials and learning strategies and assessment tests to the students, OERs are useful. There are 5 R's of open educational resources. The first one is reuse. I shall explain in detail in the next slide. The second kind is revise. The third is remix. Fourth is redistribute. Fifth is retain. So what are all these? We shall discuss now. Reuse. You can use the content in a wide range of ways, in a classroom, in a study group, on a website, in a video. You can use the OERs as you like. Only thing is, you have to acknowledge. You have to give appropriate credit to the creator of OER. That is important. You have to acknowledge. You can freely use. Then revise. You can modify, alter the content itself. You can translate into another language freely. You acknowledge the creator of OER. Remix, combine the original or revised content with other OER to create something new. Something new. Incorporate the content into a mashup. Then redistribute. Share copies of the original content, your revised ones, your remixes with others. Give a copy of the content to your friend, to all the students. Retain, make copies, own copies, have control of copies of the content, download, duplicate, print, store, distribute among all the students. You can do it freely. And there are not one or two, thousands of open educational resources available today. Examples of OERs needed in classroom teaching and developing MOOCs content. MOOCs means massive open online courses. For example, SWAYAM courses. They are nothing but MOOCs, learner-centric MOOCs. So examples of OER, videos, 2 to 3 minutes videos to create motivation among the students. Then images and photographs. You can appropriately use images and photographs in the form of a PPT. PPTs with animations, they are available. PPTs with embedded photographs, flowcharts, databases to give related data, numerical problems, real-world problems. You see, my dear friends, everything you cannot discover to be used in your teaching, learning, and assessment process. On the other hand, thousands of teachers are producing OERs every day. You can set the appropriate OER, use that OER in your classroom setting. That will be of great benefit to you as teacher. You can make your teaching very interesting, very exciting, very inspiring to the students. Right? And students also can learn through different types of OERs. So the teaching learning process becomes simple, becomes enjoyable for both teachers and students. Right? OERs play a catalytic role which improves the efficiency of learning outcomes of the students at higher cognitive levels. Very important, sir, OERs. Examples of OERs continue. Multiple choice questions and for self-assessment, formative assessment. Software, free and open source software. Models for explaining the concepts. Case studies for analysis. Examples of field studies, virtual labs and experiments, ebooks, other tools for explaining the concepts easily and self-learning by students. All these are the examples of OERs. Origin of open educational resource movement. David Wiley coined the term open content in 1998. OER was first used at UNESCO's 2002 forum on the impact of open courseware for higher education in developing countries. The MIT Open Courseware Project, MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, just like your College of Engineering and Technology, there is Massachusetts Institute of Technology in USA. Each developed MIT Open Courseware project. It is considered to be the first recognized OER project announced on 4th April 2001, carried out quite efficiently and successfully by MIT USA. I started using MIT Open Courseware content since 2005. We got the internet at NIT Warangal. Since then, I started using the MIT Open Courseware. MIT Open Courseware publishes all of the educational materials from its undergraduate and graduate level courses online, freely and openly available to anyone, anywhere, at any time. This project uses Creative Commons attribution, that is the kind of license I shall explain later in my slides. Creative Commons attribution, non-commercial, share-alike license, right? It's a copyleft license, but non-commercial, you can use it only for non-commercial purposes. You cannot use it in any textbook and publish a textbook under Copyright Act. You cannot do it. Similarly, you cannot use it for any non-commercial purposes. The program was originally funded by the William and Flora Hallett Foundation, William and Flora Hallett Foundation, the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation, and also MIT. Right now, this project is going on since 2001 itself. It has been going on very well, and millions of users across the world. But right now, it is supported by MIT, corporate underwriting, major gifts and donations from site visitors, for example, like me. Right? Whoever uses the site regularly, they will be asked to donate whatever they like, right? So those donations also are substantial right now for the continuation of this OER. The initiative inspired a number of other institutions. MIT Open Courseware inspired so many other institutions to make their course materials available as open educational resources. 4 main categories of the OER movement. Open Courseware, OCW. Open Courseware is the direct publication of high quality educational materials that are freely and openly licensed and are available online to anyone, anytime, and frequently include course planning and evaluation tools along with the thematic content. They also include MOOCs, Open Courseware, right? It will be directly useful to you, Open Courseware. Then OER publishers, new open publishing efforts for textbooks, right? So open OER textbooks are also available. Then you have OER repositories. These range in scope and from portals and gateways that provide access to information on OER and aggregated content resources to institutional repositories. Your libraries may have OER repositories which will guide you to set appropriate OER for your course. Then publicly funded initiatives. Policymakers on the local, state, and national levels are developing policies that encourage the creation and adoption of OER. For example, Swayam is the initiative of OER by Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. And today, Swayam courses can be registered by the students. When there are no faculty, enough adequate number of faculty, students have the option of registering for Swayam courses. UGC has given permission the students can register up to 40% of the credits they can earn, 40% of credits from Swayam courses, provided the institute gives permission, gives approval. So Swayam courses are very popular. For every course now in undergraduate program or postgraduate program, alternative Swayam course is available. So that is OER only. Swayam course is OER only. A few examples of sources of OER, MIT OCW, as I told. Inspired by MIT OCW, you have John Hopkins University OCW, Tufts OCW, OpenLearn UK, OER Asia, Open Education Europa, Yale Open Courses, DOAB, Directory of Books, OER book, the form of books, Directory, DOAJ, Directory of Journals, NPTEL, you know very well, National Program for Technology Enabled Learning from India. NPTEL is from India. NROER, Spoken Tutorial IIT Bombay, that is also from India. A great OER providing free online courses for so many job-oriented courses. Open Educational Consortium, OER Consortium, OER Commons, Open Access Textbooks, BC Campus, British Columbia Campus, Open Textbook, University of Minnesota, Open Textbook Sunny, OpenStax College, Sailor, Maryland, Durham, UK, Open Michigan Images. These are all examples of OERs available in the world. So you can appropriately search for your course, whatever you are teaching. So all these OERs will give you wonderful information, wonderful ideas that will improve your creativity in teaching, your spontaneity in teaching, your planning in teaching. These OERs will get the best out of you as teacher, right? So you have your own uniqueness, your own ideas, but these OERs will benefit you to make you an extraordinary teacher, Any teacher can become an extraordinary teacher with the appropriate use of these OERs. Such wonderful ideas you will obtain because of these OERs. Open Educational Resources India, NPTEL courses, video lectures for different courses from professors from IITs and IIC Bangalore, video lectures. Lecture notes for different courses. I have made use of these video lectures and lecture notes in my teaching process. These video lectures and lecture notes can be used by the teacher appropriately in the related courses. NPTEL courses, NPTEL online courses also are available through NPTEL. This is the website for online courses, which is mentioned here, onlinecourses.nptel.ac.in. These online courses are developed by faculty members from IIT Madras, IIT Kanpur, IIT Delhi, IIT Bombay, IIT Guwahati, IIT Roorkee, and IIC Bangalore. Your college being the College of Engineering and Technology, you can take the best benefit from these. You and your students can take the best benefit from these online courses. You can take the best benefit from the video lectures, lecture notes. In India also, you have the wealth of knowledge available in the form of open educational resources. in the form of lectures, in the form of online courses, in the form of lecture notes, even from India itself, you can have great benefit. Swayam, complete form is study webs of active learning for young aspiring minds. It is a program of MHRD, Government of India. It is an indigenous IT platform that facilitates hosting of the courses taught in classrooms from 9th class till post-graduation. The courses are available in Swayam portal. All the courses are highly interactive, learner-centric courses prepared by the best teachers in the country and are available free of cost to the residents of India. More than 1,000 specially chosen faculty and teachers from across the country have participated in preparing these courses. The courses hosted in Swayam are in 4 quadrants. This is a very important point, sir. The courses hosted on Swayam are in 4 quadrants. The first quadrant is video lecture by the creator of the online course, video lecture. So the best videographers are employed for the purpose, video lecture. And that is screened by the experts also. Then specially prepared reading material that can be downloaded and printed, right? Specially prepared to the Indian students, even rural students, by taking into consideration rural students, right? So it is there, that lecture notes is specially prepared. Then self-assessment tests after watching the video and after reading the specially prepared reading material, then the students can appear for the self-assessment test. If they have done well, that means they have got the knowledge. It is a proof that they have got the knowledge. If they have not done well, then they can go through the video lecture again. They can study the specially prepared reading material again, and once again appear for another test at the same level. Several tests are available. Then 4th quadrant, an online discussion forum for clearing the doubts. Suppose these 5 courses are registered by 500 students, 1,000 students for another course. So 1,000 students have registered, and there are questions from 1,000 students throughout the semester. And some questions are answered by the fellow students. When the question is not answered by any student, the teacher also answers. Teacher follows the online discussion forum on a daily basis, right? Therefore, in-depth discussion is possible. Based on the answers for a question, there may be other questions. Based on the answers for that question, there may be other questions. So students are engaged to completely, and there is a lot of peer learning, and it is learning for the teacher also. These Swayam courses, there is involvement. Whoever has developed the Swayam courses, because of the online discussion forum, the teacher also gets benefited while answering challenging questions. So it is the learner-centric MOOCs, right? Learner-centric, massive, open online courses. Swayam courses are of great use. Whenever you have the problem of faculty, even on a temporarily you have the problem of faculty for certain elective courses, don't sacrifice the courses. Don't say because the teacher is not available, we are not offering that course. Please find out if Swayam course is available. Go to the website about the teacher who has developed the course, his credentials. And then you can suggest the student, if the students are very much interested in that particular elective, suppose 50 students are so much interested in that elective, instead of not offering the elective, advise the students to register in the SWAYAM. Let them get the credits from SWAYAM courses. SWAYAM courses must be made use of quite well by the teachers and students, by the institutions. So there is, right now, I don't say SWAYAM courses are substitutes for the teachers, but for want of faculty, we should not leave the students without the best possible elective courses. Anyway, core courses you have to teach. There is no doubt about it. No course, online course, can be a substitute for direct teaching, but they supplement. And when the teachers are not available, then you can make use of the SWAYAM courses. SWAYAM Prabha is another OER. It's a group of 32 DTH channels devoted to telecasting of high quality educational programs on 24/7 basis using GSAT 15 satellite. This is the website for SWAYAM Prabha. The home page gives the list of channels among which you can choose the channel related to your subject, your course. Channels 1 to 10, video lectures developed by Consortium for Educational Communication of UGC for some courses. Channels 11 to 18 and 30, video lectures developed by NPTEL for some subjects, which are very much relevant for you in being engineering and technology college. Channel 29, video lectures developed by Quality Enhancement in Engineering Education Program of IIT Madras. Exclusively, Channel 29 is devoted for IIT Madras. Channels 23 to 25, video lectures developed by IGNO, Indira Gandhi National Open University, for some courses. 19 to 22, video lectures developed by IIT Professors Assisted Learning for Maths, Physics, Chemistry and Biology of 12th class standard, 11th class standard, right? Channels 27 to 28, video lectures developed by National Institute of Open Schooling. Channel 31, video lectures developed by NCRT, National Council of Educational Research and Training. Channel 32, video lectures developed by IGNO and also NIOS. Examples of free and open source softwares, being an engineering and technology college, you can make the best use of OER in the form of free and open source softwares. For example, R programming is offered by Spoken Tutorial of IIT Bombay, R programming, course on online course on R programming, which will be beneficial for different branches of engineering and mathematics, computer science, civil engineering, electrical engineering, mathematics. All can be made use of. The students can be greatly benefited by R programming. It's a free software programming language and software environment for statistical computing and graphics. The R language is popular among data miners for developing statistical software and data analysis. Besides data mining, it also provides statistical and graphical techniques, linear and nonlinear modeling, classical statistical tests, time series analysis, classification, clustering, and many more. Then a few other open source tools, TensorFlow. TensorFlow is a free and open source software library for data flow and differentiable programming across a range of tasks. It is a symbolic math library and is also used for machine learning applications such as neural networks. Then Maxima, symbolic computational environment, open source software similar to Mathematica. Mathematica is very expensive, right? Even NIT Warangal, with huge funding, thought twice to purchase Mathematica a few years ago. All colleges will not be able to purchase Mathematica. So you have alternatives. That is Maxima, which provides symbolic computation environment. Then you have Python. It is a general purpose programming language supporting object-oriented and structural programming. Object-oriented and structural programming is a course generally offered by all engineering colleges. So Python is a general purpose programming language. Students must learn Python. It's a free, simple to use and implement, and well structured, and is equally useful for non-numerical as well as for numerical applications. A first course on numerical methods prefers using Python as a tool for implementing and testing algorithms over an alternative such as MATLAB or Scilab. MATLAB also is very, very expensive. You have alternatives for MATLAB in free and open source software. Learning engineering maths using Python tool is an example of learning by doing, the best active learning strategy. Teacher teaches how to learn a topic of engineering maths using Python tool and demonstrates the same through hands-on experience by students. Students learn the tool thoroughly, completely. Then the teacher gives assignments, problems, mini projects, group-wise to students. You do this using Python tool. Initially, students may commit mistakes, clear doubts through peer interaction and learn. Discussions takes place later in the classroom, leading to deep learning. In this example of learning engineering maths, Python tool is also a guru, a teacher. The tool is a guru, a teacher. They have mastered the tool, and using the tool, they solve many problems. Teacher-student ratio is 1:1, which leads to most effective experiential learning and learning at higher cognitive levels of the course outcomes. It is suggested that the real teacher designs the real-world application problems or mini projects to be solved by the students using Python programming. That will be great learning experience to the teacher also. Use of free and open source software in geotech, which is a branch of civil engineering. Adonis, a free finite element program for geotechnical engineers. Geotechnical engineering software package in R also is available. SV Slope is a slope stability analysis program developed by Soil Vision Systems Limited. The software is designed to analyze slopes using both the classic method of slices as well as new stress-based methods. The program is used in the field of civil engineering to analyze levees, earth dams, natural slopes, tailings, heap leach piles, waste rock piles, and anywhere there is concern for mass wasting. Genome Tools, this is the website for that, is an open source software for the analysis of genome and biological parameters. It has a free library of tools for bioinformatics also, which is an interdisciplinary program. Working with BioPython for molecular biology, BioPython provides the set of tools and libraries for the analysis and computation of biological structures. It is available for free and open source distribution and is promoted by the Open Bioinformatics Foundation. It can parse the files of bioinformatics into the data structures that can be processed by the Python code. Free and open source tools for blind students. Dear friends, because of the free and open source software, the blind students today do not have any disadvantage. They can learn the subject as deeply as the other healthy students, right? Essential software. A screen reader is a free and open source software. A screen reader is an essential piece of software for a blind or visually impaired person. Simply put, a screen reader transmits whatever text is displayed on the computer screen into a form that a visually impaired user can process, usually tactile, auditory, or a combination of both. Whilst most screen readers work by having a synthetic voice that reads text aloud, others can also communicate data via refreshable braille display, which is useful for blind students. Such screen readers allow visually impaired users to use their fingers to read the text that is displayed on the screen. But while screen reading software can be affordable, such hardware is usually expensive. Free software makes universal access a reality. Many people could not afford the expensive price tag associated with some of the more sophisticated screen readers. Luckily for them, there are several screen reading software that are completely free. The following is a list of a few screen readers that one can download. NVDA, this is operated by Windows. I'm not going into the details. You can have the PPT later. Ceretic System Access, that is also operated by Windows. Web Anywhere, all OSS web browsers. Spoken Web, then you can make your own video and make it as OER, right? You can make OER, sir, for your students and also other students. It's very, very simple. I have made about 80 videos as OERs published in YouTube. I make my OER myself. Very simple tool. For example, corrosion due to differential aeration cells. The link is given below. It was the first OER made by me in 2016 when I was a participant like you in an FDP organized by IIT Bombay. I participated in it after my retirement at the age of 65. I wanted to learn many things, right? So there is no age limit for learning. So then as a participant, I was asked to make OER in the program as an assignment. I made this OER by myself. I made the rehearsals, nearly 6 to 7 rehearsals I made before I finalized it. It took so much rehearsals for the first video. Today, there is no rehearsal for me. First time itself, that is final. So that much practice and expertise I have developed in course of time. And by now, I have published 80 OERs. This is an OER in chemistry used by the students of First BTech and the faculty teaching chemistry in First BTech. There are nearly 6,500 views by now. Processing of developing this OER. How do you develop your own OER? Most important point is content preparation. Script is the most important point, sir. You have to develop the script as the teacher. You should keep your target group. Who are your target group? Second BTech students, third BTech students of your course. Who are your target group? consider the target group in your mind. Prepare the script so that it can be easily understood by the students. There should be logical progression of the script. It should be arranged in a sequential manner, idea after idea, concept after concept. Then that script should also consist of diagrams, photographs, all that embedded in the form of a PPT, PowerPoint presentation. Reading material, photographs, diagrams, sometimes with animations, all that can be prepared in the form of a PPT, PowerPoint presentation. Use the tool, Screencast-O-Matic tool. Today, recently they have changed the name as ScreenPal, SCREEN, Screen, PAL, PAL, PAL. They have changed the name as ScreenPal. You open that ScreenPal, download that ScreenPal tool on your desktop or on your laptop, right? So keep it there, then download the PPT, let the PPT be there, then go to the ScreenPal. There are options for only audio, only camera, both. You tick both, your PPT, screen, and you will also be visible, that is camera. Both you tick. Then you open your PPT now. Then there is an option, record, REC, capitals. You click it on that, REC. Then it will show 3, 2, 1, go. Then when it says go, you start explaining with the help of your PPT. Right? PPT, put it in slideshow mode, and then you go on explaining as the teacher explains. And at the end of it, you give a self-assessment quiz also. Right? After explaining, that means you are explaining as though you are explaining the classroom, right? But let the OER be not more than 15 minutes. Actually, that tool also gives freely for maximum of 15 minutes. More than 15 minutes, you have to pay for it. So even the students will not be interested. For the longer the duration, they will be disinterested. So generally use the videos, prepare the OER for about 10 minutes. If you want to make it into parts, first part 10 minutes, then make it part 2 10 minutes. So they will at a time view for 10 minutes. Then you always make self-assessment quiz, 4 or 5 questions. Let them struggle for that. That is important. And publish the video in YouTube. That is also very, very easy. Only thing is, you can make thumbnail. Initially, I have not prepared any thumbnail for that. Later, I found an assistant who has expertise in making thumbnail. Only one time I prepared the thumbnail. So later, only the title is changed, the same thumbnail is used for my OERs. The same photo, same thing, only the title is changed every time, right? So the entire pedagogy and everything related to higher education, accreditation, transition from affiliated colleges to autonomous colleges, transition from autonomous colleges to universities, right? How to map course outcomes with program outcomes, how to write course outcomes first of all, rubrics for evaluating assessment of project works and lab courses. Like that, whatever is the concern, whatever is relevant for the teachers. My target group is the teachers of higher education. So all 80 videos, of course, if 50, 60 videos are for teachers and about 12 videos, I had the target group 10th class CBSE students. So some important concepts. Students struggle. So 12 videos I have prepared for the benefit of 10th class students. Right. So you can make your own OER for the benefit of your students, for the benefit of others. Creative Commons licenses for open educational resources. Then what do? You prepare OER, right? Either you publish in YouTube, or you can also have the licensing from a non-profit organization like Creative Commons license. You see, it is always better that you take Creative Commons license for several OERs. For your courses, you have prepared some MOOCs courses. Better you register under Creative Commons license so that nobody else can steal it and put it under copyright, right? If you have prepared some open access textbook, free for all, register it under Creative Commons license so that nobody else can steal it. So what is this Creative Commons licensing, which is exactly opposite to copyright? Copyright means one has to purchase the textbook, one has to purchase the software, right? But under Creative Commons licensing, of course, it's not useful for software. For licensing software for OER, there are other licensing. I will explain that. So Creative Commons is a non-profit organization that helps overcome legal obstacles to the sharing of knowledge and creativity to address world's pressing challenges. The organization provides Creative Commons licenses and public domain tools that give every person and organization in the world a free, simple, and standardized way to grant copyright permissions for creative and academic works, ensure proper attribution, and allow others to copy, distribute, and make use of those works. Develop technology like CC set that makes openly licensed material easier to discover and use them. Which kind of works can be licensed under Creative Commons license? You can get license for blog posts, for photos, pictures, images, drawings, artworks, literary articles, scientific articles, open education content, videos, audios. All these can be registered under Creative Commons license. Which cannot be registered, licensed under Creative Commons license? Patents. You cannot register, right? Patents can be registered only under Patents Act, Indian Patents Act. If it is an Indian patent, so US patent, it has its own act. Then for world level, there is a separate act. Accordingly, you have to get license. Trademarks, you cannot license under Creative Commons license. Industrial designs, software, all these cannot be licensed under Creative Commons license. What can be licensed? Blog posts, photos, pictures, images, drawings, artworks, literary articles, scientific articles, open education content, videos, audios. All these can be licensed under Creative Commons license. Patents, trademarks, industrial designs, software cannot be licensed under Creative Commons license. Then how do you get free and open source software when it cannot be licensed under Creative Commons license? For that purpose, free software license is GNU, General Public License version 3. Through that, you can get license for free and open source software. This is the latest version of GNU GPL, a free software license and a copyleft license. This is recommended for most software packages. Then Creative Commons. What is the difference between Creative Commons license and copyright? Creative Commons license is free and open to all. Copyright rights to the creator only. Creative Commons license, attribution is enough. No permission needed from the creator. You need not get from permission. Even for small figure data, permission needed from the creator. Otherwise, you cannot make use of it. He can sue in the court of law. Why should we get license of our work under Creative Commons license? First thing is, you have created a OER, then you should get credit for that. You should be recognized for that, right? To get credit for our work and contribution as the user of our work has to give attribution to the creator of the work. Only acknowledgement. We don't want anything else, only acknowledgement, so that you get public recognition, social recognition. Secondly, not to allow somebody else to steal our work and register it under Copyright Act. He will get the credit. It suppresses the copyleft and open education movement, right? So the very purpose is not served. So these are the different kinds of Creative Commons licenses. These are the basic symbols. You can go through the symbols. This symbol on the left side of the top left side, it means by, by by, not bui, by by. So this symbol indicates NC, non-commercial. If this symbol is there beneath the OER, it means not commercial. This symbol means the bottom left, ND, no derivative. You cannot modify the OER, non-derivatives. Then this symbol means share alike. You can modify but register it under the same license once again. That is the meaning of share alike. I shall explain in my subsequent slides. Most open to least open Creative Commons license. Creative Commons offers a core suite of 6 open licenses. CC BY. This is the most open license. Least rigid license. CC BY. CC BY will be written beneath the OER or its symbol. CC BY is written or its symbol. I have shown you the symbol. So what is it? Only attribution. Acknowledgement is enough, that's all. You can reuse, distribute, remix, repurpose, even commercially also you can use. Give appropriate credit to the user of OER, that's all. This is the most open. So why he is allowing you to use commercially also? He wants it to get propagated widely. Anyway, he is acknowledged for the purpose. So this is what is called most open license. So the next one, CC BY -SA. SA means share alike. CC BY, which is there in the big first one, attribution, reuse, distribute, remix, repurpose, even commercially, give appropriate credit, but distribute your creation under the same license, original license only, right? You cannot again register under a new license. Distribute under the same license. That is CC by SC. Then third one, CC by ND. ND means non-derivatives, no derivatives. That means you can reuse. CC by, what is the meaning of CC by? Reuse, redistribute, repurpose, even commercially. That is the meaning of CC by. What is the meaning of no derivatives? You cannot modify the original OER. You have to use it as it is. That is the meaning. If you modify, again, that is objectionable. He will sue you in the court of law. You are not allowed to modify. That is how the Creative Commons license he has obtained. Okay. Then fourth one, again CC by. What is the meaning of CC by? Non-attribution, reuse, distribute. But NC, what is the meaning of NC, sir? Non-commercial only. Reuse, distribute, give appropriate credit, but non-commercially only. Then CC by attribution, NC, non-commercial, SA, share alike. Register it under the same license even if you modify it. Distribute it only non-commercially. This is the license, CC by NC SA. This is the Creative Commons license under which all the educational content of MIT Open Courseware is licensed under this license. CC by NC SA, non-commercial only. Share alike. You should not register under separate license when you modify it. Then the least open license, sixth one, least open, most rigid. CC by NC, non-commercial, ND, no derivatives. You cannot modify it. You cannot use it for commercial purposes. Distribute non-commercially. Not to modify material, give appropriate credit. So these kind of symbols will be mentioned beneath the material, right? So accordingly, you have to make use of OER. If it is non-commercial, NC is mentioned, you should not use for non-commercial purposes. If ND mentioned, you should not modify the OER, no derivatives. Okay. These are the 6 different types of Creative Commons licenses. Searching OERs available under Creative Commons license. How do you search? This is the website, ccsearch.creativecommons.org. You go to the website. A new Creative Commons search tool to find out the available free resources, OERs, for use in the development of MOOCs content. You can get available OERs along with the Creative Commons license. As per the CC license, you have to make use of that OER. Examples of OERs licensed under the Creative Commons license. Video. There is a video. One example of video I am giving. An Introduction to Open Educational Resources by Abbe Elder, December 13, 2017. It was published on that day. Licensed under CC by 4.0 International License. Most open license. CC by. No NC, no ND, no SA. CC by. This is the video published. This is the simplest license. What are the terms? You have to give credit to the author. You can modify the video. You can use the modified video for commercial purposes also. You can use the same video for commercial purposes also. You can get the Creative Commons license of the different kind not necessarily original, and put it like that. This is CC BY license. All the courses, video lectures, assignments, etc. available under MIT Open Courseware are licensed under the Creative Commons license CC BY NC SA. I have already discussed the reason for that. Then the open educational resources, the education system comes to life. This is the photograph. You see the symbol here? You see the symbol here, CC BY, then SA, share alike. The symbol also is mentioned here, CC BY SA. It's also written here, CC BY SA. This is the symbol, right? This is the image, photograph, image, licensed under CC BY SA. Photograph, image. Then flicker image, right? This is licensed under CC BY -ND, no derivatives. You cannot modify the image. Then xerophyte plant image by flicker image, again CC BY NCND. The earlier one is CC BY ND, no derivatives, but you can use it for commercial purpose. But here it is the least open, CC BY NC ND license. Example of an article licensed under Creative Commons license. Improving the presentation style, published by the Teaching Center, University of Washington in St. Louis. It is the most important article. Improving the presentation style. Please go through this article. I have given the reference here. You will be greatly benefited by this article. Right? So, published by the Teaching Center, University of Washington in St. Louis. Licensed under the Creative Commons license, non-commercial, no derivatives, CC, NC, ND. You can distribute it freely to your students, but you cannot publish it and sell it. And ND, you cannot modify it. You cannot modify or add your points. You can't do it. Important notes. Giving attributions appropriately when we make use of any OER is mandatory. We must give credit by duly acknowledging the author. We must strictly follow the terms and conditions of different kinds of CC licenses. Many OERs are kept in public domain without any licensing, like me, YouTube channel, journal articles, open access journal articles, right? No Creative Commons license. Public domain, just like that, YouTube channel. So I have not applied for any Creative Commons licensing, etc. I simply put it in YouTube channel so that the channel will send the information to those who have subscribed for my channel. So there are, I think, 365 subscribers so far. So any new video published by me, notification will be sent to the 365 subscribers. So interested teachers will go through the video. My OERs, all my OERs are only videos. Journal articles, only very few are there open access journals. Most of them have with a very good impact factor. They are the journals with copyright license. There may be useful OERs in this category also, which can be made use of in the development of MOOCs by duly acknowledging the creator of that OER. Acknowledgement is necessary even if you use a video from the channel. I share my PPTs of my lectures to all the participants. Some participants ask me whether they can use the slides of my PPT when they want to give lectures elsewhere. I say, okay, I give permission, but I mention you please acknowledge for that. You please acknowledge these slides are taken from Professor B.V. Apparao, but you can make use of the slides. Right. Licensing OERs developed by us under Creative Commons license. You have developed OER. You want to get the license from Creative Commons license. What is the procedure? Develop interesting and useful OER, totally original, or by mixing some of the available OERs which are available under CC BY license, preferably to your original work. Then make sure that your work is copyrightable. Make sure that you have rights on the work. Make sure how Creative Commons license operate. Be specific what you are licensing. Make sure that your institution allows you to license your work under CC license. Later, they should not create any problem. Select your license. This is the website. chooser-beta.creativecommons.org. This website will guide you to select your license, whether it is CC BY, whether it is CC BY SA, whether it is CC BY NC, whether it is CC BY NC-SA, whether it is CC BY ND, whether it is CC BY NC, ND, SA, the least open license. It will guide you. Whatever, it is up to you which kind of license you want. Up to you. If you want most open, CC BY, the simplest thing. If you want least open, CC BY NC, ND, SA. Okay. MOOCs courses, OERs, Creative Commons license. Now this is the kind of activity going on. To develop MOOCs courses, you get the help of OERs. Then your MOOCs course, you can get the license from Creative Commons license. There is a direct link between all these three. Any MOOCs course is developed in 4 quadrants model. For example, like SWAYAM courses, any MOOCs course. A video lecture, a specially prepared reading material which can be downloaded and printed by the user and study the reading material, then self-assessment test, then online discussion forum. You develop any kind of MOOCs only in the 4 quadrant model. Even the learning management systems like Moodle are available in 4 quadrant model only. Selection of appropriate open education resources. This is the key in development of MOOCs courses. Besides the creativity in story building on the subject, coherence, language, style, and learner-centric teaching, learning, and assessment methods. Right. Making your own OERs for use by others. Here also, lot of command and depth in the subject knowledge, creativity, and expertise in using a given learning management system and integrating ICT tools play a vital role. List of open educational resources developed by me and published in YouTube. Channel name, Professor space BV space Appa space Rao. Learning outcomes based curriculum framework, part 1, part 2, part 3. How to formulate course learning outcomes. Learning outcomes based active learning strategies, part 1 and part 2. Learning outcomes based assessment in higher education. Learning through experience by John Dewey method. How do the students learn? Socratic method of teaching and learning. Constructivist approach. Rubrics as an assessment tool for lab reports and project works. Teacher-student relationship. How to set good multiple choice questions. Is there really any role of reward and punishment in learning? Guidance, counseling and mentoring of students. Motivation and learning part 1, part 2. Bloom's taxonomy of learning levels part 1, part 2, part 3. Holistic education and secular spirituality. Holistic education integration of human values, games, sports and community service. Multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary education. Because in all these topics I have given lectures in NEP orientation by various other universities. Even in Saint Gadge Baba University also I have given lectures in some other FDPs. Academic audit and quality assurance in higher education. Open educational resources and Creative Commons licenses part 1, part 2. Open educational resources in India. Learning science in school education. Intuitive learning, mapping of course outcomes with program outcomes, calculation of attainment of COs and POs, pursuing 2 academic programs simultaneously. Only a few I have listed here. Reference videos from the channel. Channel link www.youtube.com/it is complete Professor B.V. Apparao. Channel devoted to education, 80 videos so far, publishing new videos on continuous basis. For example, please go through these videos compulsorily. These will be the most useful 3 videos. The most important ways to improve your teaching. Artificial intelligence in education. Knowledge, skills and attitudes in higher education. For example, these 3 are toply rated videos. Right. Conclusion. OER are extremely useful in teaching and learning any course, whether in contact mode or online mode, in both modes. Learner-centric MOOCs are welcome at all levels of education. These promote learning at higher cognitive levels. Learner-centric MOOCs, which make the best use of OERs, are better than the courses in contact mode by poor teachers who demotivate the students and kill their interest in learning. I'm sorry to make this statement. OER, MOOCs, Creative Commons license continue to impact education system at all levels, and the future higher education will be a blend of MOOCs and contact courses. The direction is clear and must be welcome. Thank you very much. Questions? I always provide some time for question answer session. Very important for me. And you
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Participants, if there are any queries or the questions with regards to this particular session, you can directly ask to Professor Apparao, sir. And it will be very appreciable if you have kind of questions with regards to this particular session, because we had some dedicated time regarding the question answer session, and it will be expected from the participants that they should ask the question. So please, anyone else?
questions, please.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, madam.
Sir, I wanted to ask, you mentioned about getting the licenses.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask if there is a particular amount of time that requires for the license to get approved, and if there are any conditions for the approval of the license.
I have shown you the website. You go through that website. That website will guide you. They will approve the license very fast. You see, this is the select your license. Chooser beta creativecommons.org. This website will guide you to select your license and ultimately obtain license you sought for. So there is no fixed time frame, but generally they are eager to give Creative Commons license for you, right? So there is no fees or anything. So just you can apply for that. This website will guide you everything you can get. So immediately, without any licensing, If you want to publish
Alright,
your
sir. Thank you.
OER, YouTube channel is one of the best channels. And after you publish, right? So you can send to some of a few of the target group, which you know, if necessary. That is also not necessary. So a good OER will be given topmost priority by the channel, right? Simultaneously, you can apply for Creative Commons license.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, OERs developed in India by Indian teachers will be more useful for Indian students because your accent, your pronunciation can be easily understood by your students, by Indian students, right? By foreign authors, creators, it is difficult for some students to understand the pronunciation and also the language, the English language. But Indian teachers, if they create OERs, they will be most useful to the Indian students. You can also apply for SWAYAM courses. SWAYAM courses will provide you an honorarium of nearly 4 to 5 lakhs, an honorarium for one course. Only thing is, you have to select the course which is there in the curriculum, undergraduate curriculum or postgraduate curriculum of majority of the universities in India. You have to select only such courses. You should not select something else. So then you have to spend a lot of time in script writing, embedded with photographs, all that script with examples, with anecdotes, with problems, worked out problems, then what is called self-assessment quiz, all that you have to prepare. Then you have to make several rehearsals to give video lecture. Several rehearsals, because there will be a screening committee. That committee will ask you to send one about 10 to 15 minutes video lecture. They will ask you to send to the committee. You have to send the script, you have to send the video, you have to send at least one or two self-assessment tests. You have to send. The committee will screen. If your video is good, if your reading material is good, your self-assessment test is good, then they will ask you to come to Delhi for the interview before the committee, right? So once you are selected by the committee, then they will ask you to prepare the entire thing for one topic. Again, there will be screening for that particular topic. Then if you are selected in the third screening also, then they will give you approval to prepare completely the SWAYAM course in the 4-quadrant mode. Then they have already what is called fixed some videographers. For example, in Warangal, NIT Warangal, mathematics department has developed an online course under SWAYAM, right? NIT Warangal has the resource center in mathematics for developing courses. So then the videographer from Hyderabad comes here to NIT Warangal to take the video lectures. That videographer will be paid directly by MHRD. The creator of OER need not pay any amount. On the other hand, once the OER online course is published by SWAYAM, approved, and it is going on published, you will get an honorarium of 4 to 5 lakhs. And you will have the recognition, you will have the weightage for your career advancement and promotions also. One Swayam course development means that's a great contribution to teaching, right? So I wish that all of you become experts in the subject knowledge. That is the first requirement, mastery of subject knowledge. Then have command on the language, the medium. I think they also accept some courses in Hindi medium also, perhaps, I'm not sure, right? So then find out whether the latest modification, if they accept in Hindi also, then you have command on Hindi language. If you have command on English language, mastery of subject and mastery of pedagogy, these three are the requirements. And your creativity, your spontaneity, you can develop the latest regulations for career advancement, faculty recruitment, have given weightage, good weightage for innovations in teaching, for creativity in teaching, by documentary evidence. By documentary evidence. Even if you publish OER, even in YouTube channel, even in Creative Commons license, that will be considered as innovations. So that will be given weightage, right? Good weightage is given for teaching contribution. Earlier, when we were working, mostly the weightage was given for research. But today, the latest regulations of UGC mention that good amount of weightage is given for contribution to teaching, right? So the best teachers are given incentive by the way of promotions. If you write a book, a good book, and publish it under Creative Commons license, CC BY or some kind of license, you make it OER, then that will be considered as your contribution to teaching. If you want to earn money, you can publish under copyright. Even then, it will be considered as your teaching. But OER will be considered much more important, because you are serving the community at large. It's a very good question you have asked, right? You see, as I mentioned, when I published my first OER for the video lecture, I took 6 rehearsals, right, up to night 11, because we have to submit the assignment by 11:55 p.m. Right? So the whole day I was working, preparing the PPT, modifying it. One full day morning till around 11 o'clock or so. I thought my rehearsal is now fine. So I have published in YouTube, and then I have sent the link to the organizers of the FDP. So initially, you may have to spend time, put in more effort. So once you publish your first OER, then you will get social recognition. Your students will have great respect for you. Your colleagues will have great respect for you. Your principal will have great respect for you, because you are the creator of the OER, right? So you have social recognition also, right?
Right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, anyone else has any questions? If there are no more questions, then we can conclude.
Yeah.
Sir, I think there are no more questions. So if you could permit.
Oh, yes, we can conclude.
Yeah, sir. So on behalf of the organizers, I extend my sincere thanks to Professor Apparao sir for such a nice and insightful session towards this adoption of OER. Sir, we are really thankful to you for such a great. And sir, if it is possible, if you can share your presentation with us, so I can distribute to disseminate to all the participants.
Now
So
it's
they
up, I
will
will
be.
send. After the lecture is over, I will share my.
Yeah, sir, definitely. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And with the kind consent of Professor Apparao, sir, I would like to declare that